The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey!
What?
Let's go!
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for. Ah! The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers,
You pig! Stop! Damn it!
Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life.
We want out! Sport!
Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to our humble abode, the Thunderdome. On this happy Juneteenth Wednesday, 2024, this program starts right now.
Sports
are a wonderful thing. Sports bring people together. Sports are a celebration. And today we celebrate Juneteenth, which is a holiday I think a lot of us learned over the last few years about a massive and monumental day in our country's history. In 1865, on this particular date, June 19th, in Galveston, Texas, Union soldiers arrived at town to let the slaves know that they had been freed 2 years ago. And that marks almost the end of slavery in the United States of America, as 250,000 slaves were freed in a moment of celebration. 2 years late, but certainly on time. And then, as you chit-chat about that, you can also chit-chat about the celebration of what African Americans have brought to the American culture as a whole. Shout out to a lady named Opal Lee, who is from Houston, Texas, who in the year 2021, I think it was 2021, walked from Houston, Texas to D.C. to make it a national holiday, which I think is great for all parties involved, because not just the United States of America, the black community, everybody. Anytime we get a chance to celebrate something awesome happening in our country, no matter how devastating it was leading into then, we should certainly do that, because we are lucky as hell to be here. Now, also on this particular day, we are mourning an incredible sports icon. Willie Mays passed away yesterday at the age of 93. Now, obviously, 93 is an incredibly long life, and what he did in that life was fulfilling and awesome. Goes on to be one of the greatest baseball players of all time, in some people's minds, the greatest baseball player of all time. The MVP award for the World Series is actually named after him, and anytime that takes place, you've got to be an absolute dog. And we're watching highlights, obviously, of his stupendous career. What people forget is his rookie year in majors, he went on to be the Rookie of the Year, and then he went to the Korean War for 2 years because he was drafted, and then he came back and finished his career out as being one the greatest of all time. Served the United States of America, was a phenomenal baseball player, a hero to many, and now has passed away at the age of 93. Peacefully, we heard rest in peace to Willie Mays. Say, hey, absolute stud. We'll talk to Sabathia today in the second hour, where he's actually at a celebrity softball game down in Birmingham this evening to celebrate Willie Mays' life and everything going on. And this was scheduled before the news of the passing, so obviously makes all the story bigger, and we can't wait to chit-chat with him. He's not the only one. Sabathia is going to be fantastic in the second hour. We also have Charania joining us in about 8 minutes, because there is massive news coming out of the NBA. A coach that was paid more money than any other coach in the history of the NBA has now been fired after 1 year in the city of Detroit. That guy will be paid $65 million to do nothing. Maybe a professional golfer, maybe a beachgoer, maybe a chiller, whatever the hell he wants to do. He is being paid for a while a lot of money to not do anything in the city of Detroit. Congrats to him. Congrats to Woj with the Woj bomb. We can't wait to rub that in Charania's face. How did Shams not get this? Spicy P, Pascal Siakam got a deal done with the Indiana Pacers. What Shams said was going to happen. Woj had the final details as it was reported. We'll talk to him in a few hours, or a few minutes, about anything else that is potentially happening around the NBA. Is JJ Redick going to be the coach of the Pistons now?
Whoa!
Like that.
Cavaliers still need a head coach. The Lakers still need a head coach. Now the Pistons enter the sweepstakes. Is Darvin Ham going to the Pistons?
Might be.
Bring him home.
Because he's a Pistons legend. He's available. Who knows? We'll talk to him. And then we'll talk to Jack Johnson, brother-in-law of A.J. Hawk, but Stanley Cup champion, 17-year NHL vet. In about 30 minutes or so, it'll be his first time on the program. I've met the guy a couple of times. He's got massive mitts.
Big old
This guy's got massive mitts. His forearms are gigantic. His story, obviously, amazing, but he's a Stanley Cup champion, and all of a sudden, don't look now, we have a Stanley Cup final series.
Yeah.
Yep.
The Florida Panthers had a chance to win the Stanley Cup last night in Sunrise, Florida, in front of their home fans for the first time in franchise history. And instead, Connor McDavid said, "This is my show. This is my ice. This is my city. This is my series. The Conn Smythe is my award." And Connor McDavid and the Edmonton Oilers now head back home with the series at 3-2. The scariest lead in hockey is 3-1. That's what it was before last night, because one goal makes it a one-goal game. Well, one win makes it a one-win series, and all of a sudden, are we staring down a Game 7? Are we staring down a full NHL series? The hockey world is awesome. Hockey is awesome. A Game 7 for the Stanley Cup Finals. It would be awesome.
Yeah.
We're all pulling for it, even though we love this Florida Panthers team. And Kachuk, who's friend of the program, had a goal and an assist last night, and a nasty save as he slid from blue line to his goal. That, though.
Oh, my
hold
God.
on. What you were just showing, we should go back to. I mean,
absurd.
can't have that just pop up on the screen. We talked about this dude being and yeah. 2 goals, 2 assists last night. He had a goal too where he did something similar and then shot from like zero angle and put it behind Bob's back. And he's like a video game player. He is like somebody on the little, some of those video games have like a joystick. The things he does at full speed, slice and dice, and other great hockey players. Those are NHL players. Those are guys that are in the Stanley Cup Finals. Those dudes have been playing hockey their entire life, and he makes it look as if they don't have sticks. Connor McDavid showing up big for these Edmonton Oilers is huge for the sport of hockey. Because even if you don't know shit about hockey, you see this guy skating around with this massive beard, seemingly on full turbo speed all the time. His dangle's ridiculous. He stays on the ice for like 2.5 minutes as well. It's not just like 45 seconds to a minute long shift. And what he's doing right now could be historic. But Florida Panthers, with just one game, can win Lord Stanley Cup. So we'll talk to Jack Johnson. There's a chance Biz stops by. We got a big time Wednesday. And it's not just the Talks the Table and I at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. Sweet fit today.
Thank you. Yeah, none of it really matches, but I appreciate that. Usually it's not as nice when I wear a bunch of different colors.
Well, I mean, you rarely match. Let's make sure that is just a matter of fact.
Sometimes.
You wear stuff that is like awesome to look at, but very rarely awesome to look at stuff can go with anything else. So to say like, normally when you never match.
Sometimes.
But in this particular case, sweet ranching baseball hat.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm still trying to break it in a little bit, but anytime baby blue and black, we talk about this all the time. One of the best, if not the best, color combination.
Agreed. That's why Miami Subs was so good back in the day. That really reminds me of it right there. The Lions, obviously, the king of the jungles. You got to do what you got to do. Ty Schmidt, we got a big baseball conversation coming right down the pipe with CC Sabathia. Cannot wait for that. One half of the hammer. Dahn. Cowboys. Town Diggs here looking incredibly fresh and fit and slim. And I'll say it, you look fantastic.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate that very much.
A 9-year NFL vet. A guy who's here every Monday through Wednesday. One of the smartest humans in football history. Was telling us about Juneteenth for the last few days.
Yep.
Darius J. Butler.
Happy Juneteenth once again.
Juneteenth Eve almost had a full celebration as well, which we should certainly talk about. And D-Butch, I want to let you know, your addition to the program has been fantastic, okay? Everything you do is just top-notch right now. You motivating DeChambeau into winning a major is fantastic news.
Yeah.
Big day.
But spreading information about this Juneteenth and this Opal Lee lady today was one of the greatest. Did you watch that video?
I did.
I did not know any of this.
Me either. As far as that story, her walking 2.5 miles a day.
This lady, she's older black lady. I don't want to say old because I have no idea, but older black.
In her 90s.
Okay.
That's a lot.
Okay, she didn't look like she was in her 90s, but we're not getting into that whole conversation. I mean, now is not the
Black
time.
don't crack.
You said it on me. So she walks from Houston to D.C., 2.5 miles a day to take the amount of time to make it a national holiday or whatever. It's like, what a legend.
Yeah.
And I don't know why we didn't know about this beforehand. This is a great day, great holiday. So I appreciate all the information.
Yeah, it's huge. And even, now me being 38, still learning so much about, obviously, the history. A lot of it's not talked about as much. And it's closer than people think. Me being 38, obviously, Opal being in her 90s. But you talk about our grandparents' parents, that's South Carolina and Georgia for me, where my family's from. So it's a lot of close ties, a lot of things that are still talked about, and a lot of things that are still unknown. But to celebrate something like this on a national stage where it is a national holiday, where at least you can look back at the day and say, okay, that's where it ended. And obviously, like you said, 2 years later, like that. I mean,
so what I think happened was a bunch of people from Pittsburgh just showed up in Texas. Was like, what are we doing?
Pittsburgh was Pittsburgh.
Guys were
That was
right
Boston.
side.
That definitely wasn't Boston.
Pittsburgh.
No, I think it was Boston people.
No, it was Pittsburgh.
I'm pretty sure it was Boston guys.
I didn't get the information, but I'm just guessing it was people from Pittsburgh that showed up and say, sorry about it. This is not happening.
You guys are good.
See ya. What a wild thing.
Yeah, shout out to Miss Opal, man.
Yeah, Miss Opal
Awesome.
walking, I don't know how many miles that is. I guess we should have done the math forever. And I know I wouldn't be able to make it, but to have it be a national holiday, good for everybody. Anytime we can celebrate something.
Bingo.
You know, the world has a lot of things not to celebrate.
Yes.
So anytime we can celebrate something, we should certainly do that. Speaking of celebrating, we get a chance to celebrate every single Wednesday with a man who is a football legend, all-pro, a man who is now a record label, Universal record label signed rapper, philanthropist, ladies and gentlemen, Pac-Man Joe. Pac, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, man. I had a chance to go on tour with Rob 49 and Skilla Baby. Shout out to Skilla Baby.
Oh, here we go.
It's pretty good, man. If you haven't been to the show, Skilla Baby is probably going to be the next biggest superstar, I think.
Okay, Skilla Baby.
Yeah.
Where's he from?
Detroit.
Detroit. Look at
Really?
that.
Hell yeah.
Are we sure?
And Skilla Baby is rapper.
Yeah.
How old?
22.
Okay, and you're 25. Okay, he's 25 years old. You're on tour. It's okay. We just Googled him in the back because I think we're just learning about him like everybody else. You're going on tour. You're doing shows. How are you doing? You crushing the shows?
Yeah, doing pretty good. Enjoy it. Pretty much baiting the crowd in, you know what I mean, with the help of Skilla, but it's been going good.
Hell yeah. You should get up there and just enjoy yourself. There's Skilla Baby right there.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
He looks really cool.
Yeah.
He looks really, really cool.
Very cool.
Skilla Baby, what is his most popular song? What song did people lose their shit to whenever you guys are performing?
Pretty much. Baby, you know fine. Baby, you know fine.
How's your stage presence? You feel good up there?
Yeah, I feel good.
Move, you feel active? Do you run around?
Yeah, I got to move around. I don't stay still anyway.
Yeah,
got to
smart.
get the crowd.
Smart. I see the FC Cincinnati shirt, obviously the MLS team there in Cincinnati. The Cincinnati Bengals football team, obviously you're very close with, the reason why you're in the city of Cincinnati. A lot of big news.
Ton of it.
T. Higgins is back. Joe Burrow's in Paris. So is Chase. I mean, they got team camaraderie happening at a high rate. Remember, there was conversation in Buffalo about, Diggs was in Paris at the fashion shows. Josh Allen wasn't there. He was posting things saying, these are the only ways to show my emotion. Everybody's like, wait a minute, is he on the outs? Joey Burrow said, you guys want to go to a fashion show? I'll go to Paris.
He'll be there.
I'll go to Paris. So he's walking around. He's playing chess against the locals saying, guess what? Oui, je m'appelle Joe. I am your father. At chess. I guess he's doing closed Sicilian on all of them.
Wow.
Just walking in, setting them up. Checkmate, bitch. I'm Joe Burrow. And then he's walking out of there.
Be a little bigger than I thought.
Fresh, too. Been fresher.
Yeah, and his hair always looks good.
Yeah.
And he's at Fashion Week, so you have to dress awesome. Like, you have to dress awesome. And I appreciate that the Bengals are in the news for all the good news.
That's right.
You know what I mean? It feels like there's been years where Bengals chatter has been like, are they? This year it's like, hey, team's back. T. Higgins knows he's probably only there for another year. His parents are excited. He's excited. Are the Cincinnati Bengals going to be able to get over the hump? Yeah, wow. Hard Knocks is filming their every move for the AFC North. Hard Knocks. Joining us now is a man from the NBA who knows a lot more about the shit that's happening than we would ever know. Ladies and gentlemen, senior insider for FanDuel TV and The Athletic, Charania. Shami, good to see you, brother. How you doing?
Pat, I'm good. I know one person who is watching right now. Hopefully, Adam Silver. He told me at the finals he's an avid viewer. He loves this show, and he likes watching around lunchtime. Just to be specific.
Well, you love lunch too. I'm sure you guys shared your conversations about how much you love lunch. And Adam Silver, I appreciate the hell out of you, man. And the answer, he watches the show, pretty crazy. The answer he gave about, like, I'm very thankful. He's the only one. Really, the
Stand-up guy.
Yeah, he was.
Legend.
It's like context matters, I think, in this entire thing. And then obviously that wasn't reported about because why would it be? That would be journalism, both sides of everything being covered. But hey, we're not journalists. You are. And obviously you're a man who knows the workings of what's happening in the National Basketball Association. Today, Woj broke massive news. Monty has been fired from the Detroit Pistons. Now, this comes after he leaves the Phoenix Suns to a deal that makes him the highest paid coach in the history of the NBA. The Detroit Pistons wanted to turn everything around. We would like to be good again. They stink. They're worse than everybody. The stats coming out now that he was paid
$5.4 million per win.
And then the Boston Celtics won more games in the playoffs than the Pistons obviously did in the entire season. It's not a good thing at all for either party, seemingly, when they came together. But now he gets $65 million just to kind of go away. How's this? Is this normal? And what does this mean for the Detroit Pistons, Shams?
last season did not go well. They made history with the longest losing streak in NBA history. Just overall, Tom Gore's ownership, everyone around that organization at that level, even players, they were all through with Monty Williams. And at the end of the day, they hired a new president, Trajan Langdon. They obviously wanted him to be in contact with Monty Williams, speak and meet with Monty Williams, and that's what they've been doing for the last 2 weeks. But one thing to note, guys, is Tom Gore's told Trajan Langdon the moment he took over as president that he has full autonomy to make any changes he wants and also to eat whatever salary he wants to eat. Everyone knew exactly what that meant. That meant that you can eat the final $67 million left on Monty Williams' massive contract. And that contract was up to $100 million. It included healthcare benefits. It included access to a private jet. His wife was diagnosed with cancer. And that's why Monty Williams did not want to take this head coaching job, last season. But the Pistons kept offering more and more money. And once it got to that amount, $70+ million on a 6-year deal, up to $100 million overall, Monty Williams could not say no. He didn't say no. He took the deal, and now he's going to walk away on Juneteenth, on this June 19 day, with a boatload of money for the next 5 years.
They fired him on Juneteenth.
What was that?
Wow.
Classic Pistons.
Wow.
Come on.
Is that what you were trying to say, Sean? That's what Sean.
That's a hell of a
$65 million
on a Wednesday.
Don't have to work.
You can leave now.
God bless America.
Didn't the
Fire
Suns do the
Monty
same?
Williams.
Anyway, Shams, we heard what you
Now
were trying
they
to
have
say.
to make a coaching hire, and this coaching hire will take place.
What just happened?
You got Tyrese Halliburton, two voices right there. I think maybe your AirPods just died.
My AirPods died. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a morning.
Yeah, you sound sweet. I understand you're very active, but them eating all those contracts and those salaries, obviously they're trying to do whatever they can to move forward. Do they now just fall into the same category as the Lakers and Cavaliers with coaching search? Do they already have a person linked to the Pistons like Darvin Ham? Is he just now going to be the head coach of the Pistons because he's a Pistons legend and everybody thinks he kind of got the raw end of the deal with the Los Angeles Lakers? Do we have any of those where we're sitting at right now, just a few hours removed?
The Lakers and Cavs have been way more progressed in their coaching searches than the Pistons have been. I think the Pistons are looking at over the next 2 to 3 weeks. They want to have a coach in place before Summer League. Summer League starts on July 12th. So having someone in, they're not really as concerned about the draft next week and free agency. They're more concerned about going through a process. One coaching candidate that is at the top of their list is James Borrego, but he is gaining traction in Cleveland to potentially be the Cavs head coach, I'm told. So if James Borrego does come off the board with the Cavs, then if you're Detroit, you're looking at more younger head coaching candidates. Sean Sweeney is a name to keep an eye on. He's the Mavericks lead assistant coach right now. So they made it to the NBA Finals. Johnny Bryant, an assistant right now with the Knicks. His name is going to be prevalent in this search process. Chris Quinn, he's an assistant in Miami. Obviously, a longtime NBA player as well. So I would expect them to be kind of at the tail end of the Lakers, who we've been saying have been focused on J.J. Redick for the last few weeks. Now, how quick does that move? The Cavs seem like they're progressed. I would expect the Lakers and Cavs to come off the board before Detroit.
Okay, I didn't hear Darvin Ham at all there. I heard it complete opposite direction. That's what that is. That
I have not heard Darvin Ham's name yet with the Pistons.
Okay, let's go to the Lakers now. J.J. Redick, obviously, but there's a new coach. Go ahead, D.
Yeah, like Pat just mentioned, you said J.J. has been the front runner since May 24th. Now that Monty Williams is available, any chance he goes and visits the Lakers? I know they had some type of conversation before he took the job in Detroit, but any chance that happens there?
Yeah, Monty Williams was in play strongly in 2019 when they hired Frank Vogel. And by the way, Frank Vogel gets fired this year. Adrian Griffin got fired. I mean, all these coaches that are getting fired, we're noticing a quick trigger of coaches. Monty Williams got fired in back-to-back summers. It's just a crazy stat. But Monty Williams was definitely in play with the Lakers in 2019. They went and hired Frank Vogel. It was really down to Ty Lue. They missed out on Ty Lue. They missed out on Monty Williams. Then they go hire Frank Vogel. So, there's been interest there in the past. I have not heard. Obviously, this just happened with Monty Williams. There's been rumblings that this was possible because of the fact that Trajan Langdon got the autonomy to eat whatever money he needs to for Monty Williams. It's $65 million. I have not gotten the sense yet that Monty Williams is in the picture here. But, listen, he is a two-time coach of the year.
Listen, if I'm getting $65 million, there's a chance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Posted.
You know,
not doing anything.
Been through a lot too.
Yeah. Especially, wife
With his
has
wife.
cancer. I mean, that is obviously a lot going on. Pop by a desk, maybe do some pregame stuff. You know, when the playoffs happen.
Man. Yes.
$65 million is so much money.
And you had to live in Detroit, so
bit.
it's even like more like, hey, I need a break.
What do you mean? What are you talking about?
You know exactly what I mean.
Take it easy.
I heard a lot of people saying that.
Exactly what I
We were
mean.
just in Detroit for the draft.
Exactly.
Biggest draft of all time.
You know what might have happened?
It's a
Actually, you
beautiful
might have
mind.
saw that Detroit sign and be like, "All right, that's it. I'm done with this place. I please fire me. Just let me out of here, please."
No, along the highway there.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
D-E-T-R-O-I-T.
You probably
Hollywood
saw
sign?
that. And he's like, I gotta coach a team.
Yeah, but
that
Skill is
doesn't
from
miss it."
Detroit. Everybody knows.
Hey, look, I'm a Skilla baby guy. I'm just saying, Monty. might
Those
have
California
looked around.
taxes don't play though. Those taxes out there in LA don't play.
We don't want to get into politics, Shams. I mean,
geez
geez Louise. You do. Shams, you do. We talk about taxes all the time. It's actually a very important piece of negotiation for everybody. So, I mean, it's certainly a worthy conversation. What happened? We got our news?
No news right now, but we're looking at our phone. We're looking at the phone. Nothing.
Okay, there's big news potentially coming soon, allegedly.
Yeah.
Ty has a question for you.
Shams, last time you were on the show, you mentioned Paul George and 76ers might have some mutual interest there. Is that kind of the next big domino to fall? Is there any update on that? And when do you expect a potential Paul George deal to get done? And are there any like kind of new teams we should be looking at as well?
Well, Paul George can't meet with the Sixers or meet with any other team besides the Clippers until June 30th. So that process, everyone around the league fully expects Paul George to go into free agency, test free agency, and that process wouldn't play. Just like Klay Thompson, those processes where you're talking, if you're Klay Thompson talking to an Orlando, or if you're Paul George talking to a team like the Sixers, that doesn't take place until June 30th. And I can debunk that picture. That was not LeBron James in that picture at whatever that force.
Yeah, that's good news.
So,
That's good journalism.
we confirm.
That's good
We
journalism.
confirm. I was told that was Elton Brand, the general manager of the Sixers.
Okay,
not
so
LeBron.
here we go. They're good surveillance, though.
Yeah.
I mean, good for.
I told you I'd get on it. I told you I'd get on it, Pat.
Absolutely, and this is good news for everybody.
Made it
Let's remember, no matter where you sit, wherever you are, you're on camera.
That's right.
Okay, let's remember that.
Always.
Especially as we go into
matter
these,
where.
like negotiation windows. You can negotiate here, you can't negotiate here. They're going to track your text messages, okay? They're going to see your TikToks for now.
For now.
Hopefully.
NBA is not playing with tampering. When it comes to tampering, we've seen teams lose draft picks. We've seen discipline being enforced. And that's why a guy like Paul George, you have the ability to extend with the Clippers now. And I think the Clippers will continue to engage there. But, if Paul George wants that full max deal, 4 years, clearly the Clippers as of yet have not had the appetite to go that length.
So is it considered tampering if James Harden says Philadelphia sucks?
Yeah, Daryl Morey.
You don't want to go there at all to Paul George.
He's already said that and much.
Oh, yeah, he had bottle service.
Yeah, he was in China, and he was like, Daryl Morey's a liar. I hate that guy.
At a camp.
Yeah, I will never play for him.
There's some real beef there for a bit. All right, last question here about what just took place. Go ahead, Con Man.
Yeah, Shams, it's being reported now. Joe Mazzulla came out and said that Porzingis basically overrode the medical team in Boston, was like, hey, this is game 5. This might be it. I am playing. I don't care what you say. How often does that happen? And then also, is there a chance he probably needs surgery on his injury going forward and he's going to miss some time?
Surgery was always with this injury. Surgery was always in play. I think there was a course of rehab that you go through. He obviously tried to rehab it for whatever it was, a week and a half. I think everyone was definitely stunned at the way he played and performed in Game 5 for him to even hit the floor. But it does happen. I can't say it happens frequently, but there have been years, especially with lower body injuries, where you feel like you can play through it. There have been guys that have played through hamstring injuries. I remember one year James Harden played through a grade 2 hamstring strain. Guys, Anthony Davis 1 year in the playoffs played through a groin strain, a pretty severe groin strain. So unless it's like fully torn, guys, especially come playoff time, you try to give it a full go. But even Luka Doncic, he was playing through rib injuries. He had a knee sprain. There was a lot he was dealing with as well.
Well, a lot of external factors too, like Windhorse cutting promos on at like 1 a.m. on Scott Van Pelt. I mean, that's tough to handle as well. Hey, we appreciate the hell out of you. We know you got a busy afternoon. Will you tell people what you're doing or no?
No, right now we're just working the phones. Right now,
It's like, that's a lot.
But what else are you doing?
What else are you doing?
Can we
What
trust
else?
anything
Anything
this guy
else going
says?
on?
working the phone. I'm gonna have lunch and I'm gonna watch the Pat McAfee show.
Oh,
That's
so
what
he's got a
I'm
meeting with Adam Silver. It's crazy.
Okay.
All right, you're the man. Ladies and gentlemen, Sean Charania, thank you.
Yeah,
All right, the NBA obviously cooking. It's the offseason. So much drama.
it's the best.
So much drama. Every offseason, there's somebody pissed at somebody.
Oh, yeah.
And the things that they do publicly, just other leagues won't do. Like the bottle service thing, hilarious.
Yep. So good.
The James Harden at his kids' camp, that kids' camp in China, just there's a piece of shit in the NBA. These kids are like, are we learning the crossover? No.
No.
We're gonna teach you
I want to
something
tell
much
you about
bigger.
this piece of shit.
I had no clue what he was talking about.
And then there was the meetings at concerts. You know, I think like Kevin
Yeah,
Durant met
in
with
Paris.
some-
Yes.
Yeah, it's like the
Lil Baby.
NBA is awesome. And Fashion Week, Lil Baby and James Harden should be making an appearance at some point.
Yeah.
Potentially on all the vitamins in France.
Well, with the Olympics too, you assume that some of the stuff coming out
Oh,
there.
my
You remember
God.
when Draymond started a Kevin Durant "Happy Birthday" song when it wasn't his birthday, just in the middle of the opening ceremonies? Like that stuff will be cool to see.
Well, not only that, there's going to be a lot of guys on those teams who are not necessarily thrilled with the teams that they're on. And then after you get a chance to travel around another country, be a teammate with somebody,
With the best.
there's going to be like, I need to get to Minnesota. Maybe somebody says Anthony Edwards, I would like to go play
sure.
with Anthony Edwards. Maybe somebody tells Anthony Edwards, you need to get out. They don't even know who the owner of the team is.
Yeah.
The owner tried to sell the team, then he faked out, and then he came back on this entire thing. Maybe you do that. I'm excited to see the drama in the NBA. The NBA drama, it's like TNT, we know drama.
Yeah.
They got to figure it out. Alongside baseball, too, which obviously.
Did I see the Finals MVP is not on Team USA? Did he not make Team USA? Is that correct?
Yeah, Jaylen Brown is not on Team USA. I believe he's an alternate. The conversation is if Kawhi doesn't end up playing because of his knee, Jaylen Brown will replace him.
Kawhi cut his hair, I heard.
Yeah, he got a new haircut. He looks cool.
Yeah, he does look super cool.
Yeah, he looks awesome.
Super professional, super cool.
Maybe that'll help him out going into next year.
Yeah, so he plays really good basketball all the time whenever he plays, but then he just gets hurt.
Yeah, and per sources, basically the entire season he's counting down to the playoffs. Like all he wants to do is get to the playoffs. So then it is like, all right, now we can go. Let's lock in. Similar to Toronto. Like when they won in Toronto, it was one of those situations where the load management thing was kind of starting with Kawhi because it was, hey, if you just get me to the playoffs, we're going to go. And then, yeah, of course, he plays like the most games he's played in the regular season in recent memory, and then he gets hurt going into the playoffs.
What an absolute dog, by the way.
Yeah.
Can we get to the games that matter, please? And then I'll be better than everybody.
Absolutely crushed, too.
I've never
Where he
seen that.
couldn't play.
But then if you get hurt,
I'm bummed out.
I've never seen nobody do that.
Yeah, I mean, the load management thing, I get it, but I just thought, especially, that run in Toronto, I thought from that point on, him teaming up Paul George, I just thought it was going to be a run for Kawhi. But obviously you can't control injuries and how guys recover from them, but it sucks as a fan tuning into the Clippers.
And not seeing
And then, especially when you watch him play for, however many 10 games in a row, it's like, okay, he might be back, here we go. And then he's out for, 27 games.
I think all these teams that I get excited about, they stink.
Yeah.
Yeah, they fall apart.
Yep.
Like anytime somebody has like, except for like the Heatles.
Sun.
Yeah, the Suns last year.
did.
Yeah.
Suns, the Nets,
NBA
the
teaches you
Sixers,
a lot about life.
the Clippers. I mean, there's a lot of these teams I get real excited about, and then it's like, oh man, why did it work out? Even the Mavericks the first year, whenever Kyrie goes down to Luka, and they were just bad.
Terrible.
They just could not figure it out. And then they obviously figured out the next year. Well, that's an abnormality, I think.
Chemistry, man. You can't fake that chemistry. Even the Heatles obviously struggled, lost to the Spurs and then lost to the Mavericks as well. But like, Dwayne Wade, Bosh, Braun, all them in their prime, top of their games. But they figured out. They figured
Kawhi
the
did not
chemistry
get a
out.
haircut.
What?
That was fake news.
Just an angle?
Didn't get a haircut despite viral photo.
No, you can. The lines are clean. He definitely. I mean, that looks like a haircut.
Sweet glasses, though.
It's a new hair. Yeah, got us.
Yeah, that's the one.
Good journalism, Jonte.
Yeah, thank you for doing that. That's over in Paris, I assume. Is that in? Well, these fashion weeks are awesome. Why is everybody heading?
They're so cool.
I don't know. They
Cool.
They
You
must
been
be
on?
cool.
Yes, I've been on.
Okay, so-
I've been to Louis Vuitton twice.
Okay, so what is it? So you go over there. There's a party, I assume.
Big party.
Before.
After.
Okay, so you show up. Everybody's sitting around that stage thing.
Yeah.
Is that not you're just sitting there?
You're drinking while you're sitting there. It's just like going to the Super Bowl.
Champagne?
Okay.
Oh, so
Think of Fashion Week as the Super Bowl
For
of dressing.
dressing up.
Yeah.
And are they saying what people are going to wear in the future that they're walking down?
Most of the pieces that they're wearing in Fashion Week, no one get them.
Yeah, it's 2025.
Well, yeah, I've only seen like asshole costumes walking down.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
Like Burrow.
Like wearing garbage bags and saying like, oh, wow, this thing's going to be awesome. Yeah.
And like a big like domino or something with suspenders and walk down and like, this thing costs you 16 grand, you want to wear it. It's like, where the fuck am I wearing that? Like that type of stuff. So that it's just a show, but it's just a spectacle.
Yeah, it's a show. I don't know which one you've seen, but like they got Louis Vuitton.
I just see clips on the internet. That's all I see.
It's something to go to if you've never been there.
Okay, so music playing, we're drinking.
Yeah.
And then immediately afterwards, there's an after party.
Yeah.
And everybody there goes to that.
Everybody.
So the reason why people head to these is because there's just massive parties after all these things.
Yes, and to see the new lines that's coming out.
Those parties, man, if you spill something, I bet you are cut. You probably get your throat slit if you spill some red wine.
No, they probably have like baby bottles so you can't spill.
Yeah, I hope.
Yeah, probably one of those. You don't, because you spill on some of that shit.
That's what I'm saying.
It's like a $40,000 drip of red wine.
You get bumped, you like spill something on like Timothy Chalamet, all of a sudden he just like cuts you in half.
So is it for sale too? Is it like they have the shop set up? Like when I walk outside and get a T-shirt, like it's concert, can I buy like the domino block that I saw walk down?
Well, the day before they give you like if you got to have a pass to go wherever you like. Louis Vuitton have to invite you to their thing.
Okay, so
and
can I buy that
have
jacket?
A chance to buy that jacket.
The landscaping is far.
Yeah, it's really good.
That's where they play chess. Burrow and that guy played chess there after.
Oh, Pusha T performed.
Boom, with John Legend. They made a music video.
Yeah.
That was
at the Louis one?
At the Louis, yeah. Like they basically chopped this entire thing up and made a music video out of it.
Okay, like that jacket, pretty sweet. So somebody would just...
is that a coffin?
I think because they're killing it.
Oh, of course.
You know what I mean?
That's where all the clothes go.
Is it figure eight too?
It looks like the bus races.
They're a purse.
Man, that's
a traveler's sack.
Oh,
that's a small travel
500
sack.
grand.
It's a purse.
No, it's a travel sack.
No, Burrow.
It's a small travel.
Dude, that guy's got moxie. Holy shit!
Those gloves?
Oh, bring in the strings.
Wow, look at that thing.
Cristiano.
Shimmering.
Okay,
I want that.
Well, that's a
another
travel sack.
small travel sack.
It's a European carry-all.
Carry-all.
There it
There
is.
it is. Stands for
That's like a super duper robe.
Yeah, is that a robe?
That's like pajamas.
Super wealthy pajama set.
I like the short stocks.
sweet.
I'm way ahead of time. I almost got fired for that Michael Cole WrestleMania.
That looks like one of those invisibility jackets.
The one there behind looked like Dahmer, I will say.
He did a little bit.
Gotta see that. Hold on, I missed the guy behind.
Right there.
Oh, yeah.
Right there, Dahmer.
That.
Uh-oh.
All right. Well, hey, thank you, Fashion Week, for seemingly being a gathering of all athletes.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to get over there, and there's always some sort of drama that comes from it. The Bengals, though, just enjoying some shows, having a good time, beating people's ass in chess.
And Lamar, there was drama. Lamar was pretty pissed that Wemby was standing next to him instead of sitting down.
Is that real?
Oh, yeah.
That was at one of these Fashion Weeks?
It was at the Louis Vuitton thing. Yeah, Lamar was there too. They were all hanging.
Jackson?
Yeah.
Russell Wilson wasn't there.
Holy shit.
Louis jacket right there.
Look at how tall Wemby is. Lamar's awesome, by the way.
Best. Yeah.
We're getting to a point where the more that we see and hear from Lamar, we need him just mic'd up in places. Remember that became a content idea. Amazon did it for Thursday Night Football. Marshawn Lynch, we're going to put a microphone on him, we're going to put a camera on him, and then we're going to drop him into the middle of the most absurd shit. Just the most absurd shit. And then just see how he reacts. And Marshawn kills it every single time. I mean, every time it's like, gotta watch it. I feel like Lamar Jackson is a similar person. Every time we see him do an interview or talk or people talk about him, it's like, yeah, coolest dude on earth. That's just how it is. Also, more fit than he's ever been. Is Lamar Jackson about to have the greatest year he's ever had as a football player, even though he's already won the MVP? And are we talking about the Fashion Week being the reason that upped his confidence because he was walking down the runway, strutting his stuff with a big old chaw in his mouth, doing his thing? I mean, there's a chance that that's what we're talking about here in about a month.
Guess we will find out because Joey Burrow and Lamar are over there, but Russ Wilson's out there getting better. Okay.
Russell Wilson's probably in one of the shows tonight.
Yeah, he's probably
performing.
Yeah, Deshaun Watson not there representing the Cleveland Browns. If you're talking about the AFC North.
Now I'm worried. If he's the only quarterback in the AFC North that isn't over there just gallivanting around, I'm worried. I'm worried that that makes the Browns favorites.
So you
Twice Sierra's over there. He's over there.
Sierra ain't missing that.
She's not missing that.
Okay, well, Russ stayed behind to get better.
Is Flacco
probably up?
Flacco over there?
Joe Flacco is an Indianapolis Colts quarterback. Indianapolis Colts quarterbacks don't go to Paris Fashion Week.
I don't know.
I'm just telling you that's how
I thought Peyton invented Fashion Week.
Nope, Peyton's never been. Anthony Richardson, I don't think he's there. If he goes, I will completely change my tune about how
I saw Peyton,
need to go.
I saw Peyton at the College World Series, and some guy behind him was putting in a ginormous whole can.
Let's talk a little bit about some more NFL news, not just Fashion Week news. And anytime those clips hit the internet, obviously you got to look at them.
Have to.
And any drama that comes from it, we now know is probably from the party afterward, where there is some gossiping, some conversation, some recruiting potentially happening, and saying, what's going on over here? Not that type.
Okay.
Not that type. We're talking about just amongst professions, not everything like that. NFL news, the NFL was in a class action lawsuit. I think it's still happening, but from what we're hearing about this case from Mucky Duck Pub and the 2.5 million DirecTV Sunday Ticket subscribers who are filing a class action lawsuit against the NFL for price gouging and forcing somebody to charge an immense amount of money for Sunday Ticket. $450, I believe, is the price, and not being able to just watch your team isolated. So there was a lawsuit that made it to court, that made it to trial, that could have been worth $21 billion out of the NFL's pocket into all the people that filed the lawsuit. So this thing has gotten so far in that Roger Goodell was actually testifying in court, swore to help you God. Roger Goodell goes, so help all gods. Yeah, I'm about to kill this lawyer. And he did for 4 hours. I guess he just absolutely cooked him. So much so that the new news that we're getting from this particular court case is that the judge says, you have nothing to the plaintiff's lawyers, and it's a total disconnect. Jurors about to be led back in for day 2 of Jerry Jones, followed by Sean McManus. So Jerry Jones is involved. Roger Goodell is involved. What? The NFL is getting sued for potentially $21 billion, and I think the reason why nobody had been talking about it before like Monday is because this is a big fugazi, which is pretty much what the court has told the plaintiff's case. How does this get to a courtroom then is my big thing, and I guess now that we're here, the fact that Roger Goodell was willing to take the stand told us all along that the NFL had zero fears of this entire case at all.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like if you look at what Goodell has had to deal with in the past and then what this is.
Dr. Will Smith.
Will Smith. I mean, all the other things like the Ray Rice situation, things of that, Hernandez situation, things of that nature. It's like, hey, if we're going in and I get to go to battle for basically our best product, the thing that everyone universally loves, and sure, of course, you can make the argument, yes, it is expensive, but everyone who buys that product and watches games, all the games, it is the greatest thing that the NFL, you could make an argument that any league has just to watch that league. Like, it is so much fun. So I assume when he went onto that stand, he was probably
I can't wait.
licking his chops.
What if every cross-examination question he goes, thank you for asking. That leads me to my next point. So tech-wise, we wanted $4, okay, because we wanted our fans to be able to watch 4 different games at the same exact time.
There's no other.
Nobody's been able to do or been able to hold people's attention long enough to have 4 different games on at the same time. A lot of people, other leagues, and the person who asked the question, I object. Yeah. No.
Sustained.
You wanted the answer to this. What if Roger Goodell for 4 hours just cut promos about how great Sunday Ticket is?
Yes.
This is the amount of people we have signing up for. Just last year on YouTube, YouTube TV. Never had anything before, by the way. They're launching there, which takes me back to the beginning of Fox. Do you remember how Fox started with, we just had a documentary about John Madden and they got the NFL rights and basically just launched the entire network? Let me show you some stats about YouTube TV with what Sunday Ticket is doing with this entire thing, launching it. Like Roger Goodell was probably skipping into that damn thing, and now allegedly it is over. Now, speaking of being over, we thought the Stanley Cup Finals could have been over last night. We thought it could have been over a few nights ago in Edmonton. But what has happened? Well, the Edmonton Oilers have come alive. All of a sudden, a potential sweep has become a 3-1 series. And then in Florida, with a Stanley Cup celebration on the way, it becomes a 3-2 series. Uh-oh. Best player on earth, Connor McDavid's heating up. And now, with everything on the line, the series heads back 8 hours to Edmonton's loud-ass barn, and this thing could be staring down a Game 7. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us is a man who played in the NHL and is playing in the NHL for 17 years thus far.
Damn.
He's a Stanley Cup champion. He's also the brother-in-law of A.J. Hawk. Ladies and gentlemen, Jack Johnson.
Yeah, Jackie!
How you doing, Jack?
I'm doing great, guys. How you doing?
Hey, thank you for joining us. I see. Hey. I got a little Lordo here, too.
Wow, matching.
You know what I mean? It's like we kind of look like we're in the same exact backdrop. I appreciate that. Congrats, Stanley Cup champ, Jack Johnson.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, Jack, let's talk about this Stanley Cup series here. Thought it was going to be a sweep. A lot of people on the outside looking in. For you hockey people, did you know that it was inevitable that the Edmonton Oilers and Connor McDavid and this team that is so talented would fight back and extend this series? Or did you worry a little bit about this maybe being quick work for the Florida Panthers as well, Jack?
Well, I mean, obviously, once it gets to 3-0, there's that possibility. But I was a little surprised it got to 3-0, being in the Stanley Cup Finals with that kind of firepower that Edmonton has. I mean, they got some high-end talent. They got as much high-end talent as anybody in the league that can throw at you. They've been living on their power play for so long, going at an incredible rate. That has started to pick up lately. And at the end of the day, in the playoffs, it's hard to beat a team 4 times. And winning that 4th one is tough, let alone in the Stanley Cup Finals. You know the Cup's in the building. Last night in Florida at home, from my own experience, there's a lot going on there for those guys. I mean, each person probably had 20 people that flew in to see him, family. People are telling them about, where the parties are going to be, after parties. And in the meantime, you still got to win a Stanley Cup final game. And you know how hard it's going to be. So sometimes the best thing for a team is to get on the road when you have a chance to clinch and kind of hunker down, get in your hotel and just the guys, and that might benefit Florida a little bit.
Well, allegedly, Game 4, they flew up all their family and friends all the way up to Edmonton for a potential celebration. What it sounds like, from your experiences, there's a chance that none of them are getting flown up, and it's like, hey, we got to get back to ball here. We got to get back to puck, fully focused, especially in somebody else's barn. But let's talk about that barn, especially with how Edmonton is playing now. That place can get wild, and you play 17 years thus far in the NHL. Is that notoriously like greatest home ice advantage? And if Connor McDavid gets one early, does any of that shit that he does early, that place is going to be on fire. Is that a real advantage up there in Edmonton? I mean, that's filthy. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I was watching the highlight with you. I mean, that's I mean, he's a special guy. I mean, that's a special talent. I think him and McKinnon this year. I'm biased to my boy Nate in Colorado too, but I mean, those guys do special things that no one else can do, and you saw it right there. But yeah, I mean, that team gets rolling in Edmonton. That place is buzzing. They're going to be buzzing right from the anthems. You got the U.S. Star Spangled Banner and "Oh Canada" going. It's going to be buzzing right from there. And it's a Canadian hockey market. They love their Oilers, and they got all of Canada behind them watching. So it's going to be buzzing. It's going to be buzzing early. Florida, I'm sure, they know it. They've been in that building a couple times now, and there'll be a barrage early, I'm sure. You weather the storm and try and get the game to settle out a little bit. But, Connor McDavid, he's feeling it. He's got 8 points in 2 games now.
Yeah, that's
the most
record. Yeah, that's the most in a 2-game span in the Stanley Cup Finals history or whatever. He has 42 points this postseason, which obviously, if he gets 5 more points, he'll pass or tie Wayne Gretzky, the great one. He has 3 40-plus point playoff performances. Obviously, nobody else has that. He's Wayne Gretzky. He's the great one. But when you talk about McDavid, the conversation was, this guy's not scoring. This guy's not doing this. Now, he was having 3 assists a game in the national media conversation. If there was conversation, it's good that there is conversation, was like, is Connor McDavid going to show up or whatever? And he's literally banking pucks off of his teammates' sticks into the goal. And they're like, is he ever going to score a goal or whatever? And he's come alive. But they were talking about his legacy. If he was to lose this one, let alone get swept this one, and all of Canada is seemingly behind him. If he comes back from being down 3-0 to winning, how are they talking about Connor McDavid in the hockey world this upcoming offseason?
Yeah, I mean, he's already, a lot of people say he's the best player in the world. Like I said, I mean, I would bring up, this season, I think, he and Nathan McKinnon were on another level, and have been for quite some time. But I mean, yeah, coming back from 3-0 in the Stanley Cup Finals and doing what he's doing, it's incredible. I haven't seen that, and I don't know if anyone ever has seen a performance like that. If that's what happens, and he continues on this pace. But yeah, I mean, he'll get his first one, and a guy like him, he's not going to try to stop there, and all the great players do. I mean, you get one and you just want another one. It just makes you hungry for another one.
That's why, when you're chugging beers out of Lordo.
Yeah.
And I guess they say Connor McDavid is just like all puck. He's just like the perfect person to, like Scotty Scheffler almost, they talk about, like how he is just so good at his sport, all puck all the time. He's got that beard pretty wild. He looks like a Bigfoot. I mean,
playoff beard.
He does look like, with the hair and the big skate up there. I mean, he is flying around. It's great for hockey that he is absolutely balling. Similar situation now. Tone has a question for you.
Yeah, Jack, when you won the Cup with the Avalanche, you guys were up 2-0, not 3-0, but then up 3-1, I believe, on Tampa. And then Game 6, you went and won in Tampa. When you don't have the momentum going into that Game 6, kind of like the Panthers do now, and that flight from Colorado to Tampa, do you still have the confidence, or are we going to let this one slip away? How do you think the Panthers feel flying back up to Edmonton?
Yeah. Also, Jack, real quick. Also, is momentum a real thing in the NHL? Because obviously Maurice has said a lot of stuff about momentum not really being a entire storyline. Do players feel the same way about that?
Yeah, you know what? I think the playoffs, it's pretty unique. I think each series in particular has its own story, and then each game within the series kind of has its own story. I don't know if it's necessarily momentum or it's more adjustments. Once if you lose a couple and you kind of figured out how to fix whatever the problem is or stop the bleeding, it can be viewed as momentum to the fans, but really a team's made an adjustment that is now working. And it's the small adjustments within a 7-game series that, can mean the difference between winning or losing and turning the tide in a series. And then it's on, the ball's on the other team's court. Can they make adjustments now to counteract? So to me, it's more the adjustments made, not necessarily the momentum. To go back to your original question, we had the opportunity in Game 5 to win it at home, like I said, and there was a lot of hoopla going around, and we were almost to the point where we just wanted the game to be over to get to the celebration. So that flight to Tampa, everything calmed down, and it was kind of the best thing that could have happened was, like I said, hunkering down. The distractions were gone, and we were able to just play. We had a lot of confidence. Tampa was a phenomenal team, 2-time defending Stanley Cup champs. We felt like we were the better team. I think every team in the Stanley Cup Finals feels like they're the best team, but you got to truly believe it. We felt like we were the best team. If we play the best we can, there's nothing they could do. So getting there, we still felt great. Had team meal, just the guys, did what we had to do. The team was awesome. They flew up 2 guests, whoever you want, your wives, brother, your father, whatever, on them. My wife asked, should I come? And I go, absolutely. You got to be there. We knew this was happening. And, so like I said, in my particular situation, flight was great. We were confident. We were calm. We were cool. And getting there, being just the guys was the best thing we could do.
Colorado to Tampa, what's that, probably 4 hours or whatever. They get double that amount of time.
Yeah, exactly.
Figure it out, heading all the way up to Edmonton. Yeah, hopefully the poker table gets them settled in. I know Darius is obviously hoping for that, but what else do they need to do?
Yeah, I'm nervous as shit right now, Jack, and I need you to kind of be a coach for me right now. Because in football, you got a great wide receiver you can double team and kind of limit him, maybe not stop him. Basketball, double team, a guy get the ball out of his hands. What are the adjustments now? Obviously, Florida Panthers hang their hat on their defense. What are the adjustments now with how the series is going, how the Oilers are playing? How can we slow down this freaking phenom, Connor
McDavid? Well, I mean, first of all, a guy that good, you're not going to stop him completely. He's going to get some chances. Obviously, you're trying to limit those chances. Yep. You don't want to let him blow up for 4 points a night. I mean, I remember, honestly, in our series against Edmonton a couple of years ago when we played him in the conference finals, we had a couple games where we walked away and we're like, hey, I feel like we did a pretty good job, keeping him down. And you look at the score sheet and he had 3 points. And you're like, well, maybe we didn't. But no, I mean, he's going to make things happen. He's just that type of player. One of the things that we really focused on was it's a lot easier to try and deprive a guy the puck than take it away from him. So if you have the puck, you can hold on to it in the offensive zone.
Smart.
You got to try to make them play defense so they're not just full of gas coming the other way to play offense on you. That was one thing we did. And there's obviously the old cliches of don't put them on the power play all the time. But, that's a fine line because you can't be out there being like, well, we can't take a penalty. Because then, now you're playing a little cautious and, you're not pinning the ears back and going. So that's a fine line. But, for us, like I said, he's still got his chances. Like I said, we thought we limited him, and we look at the score sheet and he'd have 2-3 points. But, trying to make them play defense is probably the best way to keep them at bay a little bit.
Good work, lads. How about us, too?
Yeah.
Connor McDavid, what, McJesus, my ass.
Oh, boy.
3 assists.
Okay. That's pretty much how it went.
That guy can't play. Guy can't hold. Not against us. Maybe against everybody else. Yeah. Then stats person comes in. All right, this is what we did. Draisaitl had 1. Pretty good. McDavid had 3 assists. And, whoa.
Wait.
Did not understand that.
Really?
I assume that happens everywhere, though.
I will say we were pretty blessed with we matched up Nathan McKinnon on Connor McDavid.
Yeah, you're pounding that drum. McKinnon's the guy, huh? But he's not in the playoffs right now.
Yeah, and Cale Makar was standing right behind him every shift. So you had 2 of the best skaters in the world going head to head, and then if he was coming down and he got on the other side, he had to get by Cale Makar, who in my opinion is the best defenseman on the planet.
So
we.
Skating, I just heard you describe, obviously, McKinnon and McDavid as 2 of the best skaters. Skating's the ultimate thing that Connor McDavid has over everybody else, because obviously I grew up in Pittsburgh. Sydney skating, like his quad's obviously gigantic. He seemingly could just protect the puck with a flat-ass stick because of how he could skate and how he can move his body. Connor moves different than Sydney, though, and it sounds like McKinnon does as well. Is skating the X factor that Connor McDavid has alongside everything else? Like, is that the big difference maker whenever you're scouting another team? Like, hey, this son of a bitch can move. Mm-hmm. Like, that's what happens in the NFL with Tyreek Hill. Like, hey, this guy can move better than all of us. Is that how it is in the NHL as well?
Yeah, for sure. I don't think it's any different than any other sport. I mean, speed kills, right? I mean, that guy can fly, and it's not just his speed alone, it's his speed with the puck. He's so dynamic. He doesn't slow down when he gets it. And, McKinnon's the same way. I think they're just as dynamic, but I think they're slightly different. McDavid almost floats on top of the ice. Nate, when he skates, it's violent. It's like you can hear his skates digging into the ice. They're a little bit different in terms of their style, but at the end of the day, their speed kills. It's incredible. It's tough to defend, and the same thing with Cale. I think what makes Cale so incredible is his skating and his speed, and they're able to do things with the puck at that speed.
The fact that you guys are doing all that shit on ice is wild.
No,
yeah. Like I used to go to open skate $5 on Friday nights, and I guess I could get around, in rented skates. And I could stop every once in a while. And I'll tell you what, you skate backwards, people think you're the real deal. But if I had to actually operate, I would have had no chance. I'm eating shit literally the entire time. These dudes are doing triple axles over other people while also dangling the stick and then dumping rubber at the same time. It's phenomenal. It's a wild sport. Got to get in it whenever you're young. And on the big storyline of this entire playoffs has been goalies standing on their heads. Who's next? Well, Ty has a question for you, Jack.
Yeah, Jack, it seemed like early in the playoffs, that was kind of the one knock on Edmonton. It was like, hey, they don't really have the top end goaltending that a lot of these other teams have, and that's kind of going to be their Achilles heel. And really, since then, Stuart Skinner's kind of answered the bell at every step of the way. Is that something that both teams recognize, like going into the game on Friday night? Like, will Edmonton be like, hey, we can maybe be a little bit more aggressive and maybe take some more chances because of how well he's been playing? And then on the flip side, like Florida, are they like, hey, we need to have quality shots on net because this guy is playing so well? Like, is that something you immediately recognize when you get on the ice?
Well, I think it definitely instills confidence in your team and in your players. Like I said, you're in the Stanley Cup Finals. You're not going to limit them to no chances. But when you get the confidence to know if there's a breakdown or you got a penalty kill and your goalie's dialed, he's going to bail you out. I think that's a huge confidence thing to allow you to play a little bit more free and loose, make some plays. At the end of the day, you got to make plays to win. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But you have to be willing to make some plays. I think, in terms of Florida, I mean, who knows, maybe Edmonton has made some adjustments in terms of where they're shooting and how they're shooting and, all those things that you never know. That's for behind the scenes for them to tell you. But there's always some games with the goaltenders. I mean, that's a game within the game that Fortunately, I don't have to deal with the goalies. They're kind of on their own deal.
Yeah, smart, like kickers and punters. I get it.
End of that second period last night, like Skenes, I mean, it had to be at least like 9-10 shots.
Yeah,
like,
and then I saw
time
he was also, after a couple of those saves, whenever there was a face-off or whatever, they had music playing. And he was like bobbing his head to the music. It's like, oh, this guy.
Yeah, he's in it.
This
He's
guy is
feeling it.
locked in right now. He is completely in the zone. And then you see his mustache. It's like, oh, this guy's a legend.
Moxie.
We got a great series, and we can't thank you enough for the great conversation. Stanley Cup champion, 17 years thus far in the NHL, Jack Johnson. Thank you, buddy.
Yeah.
Way to go, Jack. Yeah, hockey potentially getting to a 7-game series is awesome.
Thank God.
Especially with what the Celtics decided to do.
Yeah, sorry about it.
Yeah, well,
it's just what happens when you're the most dominant team. We don't have that in the NHL. What can we do with the Celtics?
Yeah, you know what we have in the NFL? A bunch of rookie quarterbacks. Let's go out to Minnesota. Minnesota has announced that Sam Darnold is the starting quarterback for the Vikings going into training camp. And there's one particular masshole that said, oh, my ass. Seems so. I would like it to be on the record. I like the move because this tells J.J. McCarthy, like, hey, yeah, you're not. This tells the rest of the team, hey, JJ's not. Sam Darnold's the starter. You have a bad first 2 weeks of training camp. It does not matter. You are a top 10 pick. You're going to be here, and it's not your team. Sam Darnold is the team. I think it takes a lot of pressure off him. You, though, Connor, you said, does this guy want pressure? What is
well, I
this
mean, well, that's the thing. It's like, hey, I get it for sure. Take the pressure off him. You're the 11th overall pick. You will be a starting quarterback in the NFL.
Sorry, top 11 pick.
But yeah, either way, what's the difference? Your whole entire thing leading into the draft was like, hey, when this guy was a freshman, right away, he's a vet leader. So, like, that's what I didn't really understand. And then also, like, is there no competition here? Like, for the Patriots, at least. If Drake May does end up being the number 2, that's not a problem. If he loses the job, sure. Like, that's one thing. But I at least want to have some sort of, like, hey, you could come into this thing and treat this as if you are the guy from day one. And then maybe you are that guy for the entire time. But, again, either way, it's a win-win.
I personally hate quarterback competition. Going into camp, even if, let's say Darnold stinks the first quarter of the season, hopefully JJ's ready. He's been practicing against, a lot of the starters on scout team. I like to move him right there with you. Take the pressure off of him. Even the other guys on the team. Now all right, we're starting this thing with Sam. He's our guy. And then we obviously know we got a top 11 pick, in the wings.
I don't like quarterback competitions. Go ahead.
Me either, because if you put him in there right now, let's just say he do have a better camp than Sam, and you put him in there, he stink the first 8 weeks. Then everybody in his name like, oh, here we go.
Yep.
But it give him a little bit more time to develop, because if you look at the college film, a lot of late balls and a lot of different things that you got to improve on. But I like the move. I think you want to know who your starting quarterback is. You don't want to be guessing. Quarterback is not a competition position, if you ask me.
Well, and there are some people that believe there is, and obviously, especially with a lot of young quarterbacks and old quarterbacks getting phased out, yada, yada, yada. I think they're just letting JJ know, hey, bub, you just learn your shit.
Yep.
Okay, let's not expect you to be out there a week. And maybe let's do a better opening pitch.
That'd help.
He was just being a good teammate.
You're right. We'll talk about that next hour. He followed Dallas Turner, who missed wide right with a grotesque wide left. Hour 2 on the other side. We'll see you then. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, the commissioner of the NFL. Don't listen to them. No. Roger, good. Shut your mouth. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining us. You're our commissioner. Don't worry about these bums. From us to you, we'd like to give you a gift that we know you're a big fan of. Ladies and gentlemen, some peanut M&Ms for our commission.
This is why we're on set?
Yep. You can take these with you. You can take them home.
I might just I got a gift for you. What? Oh. You ready?
Yeah, I like that.
With the 222nd pick in the 2009 NFL Draft.
Oh, yeah.
The Indianapolis Colts select Pat McAfee. Hunter, West Virginia.
Hell yeah!
Come on there, baby.
Good pick.
Thank you, Raj. I'll pick him up. Thank you, Raj. I'm not going to pick you up because you got that
That's
back.
All right.
Yeah.
I got it. There's your card, baby. That's real.
That's awesome.
I've been keeping that for, 15 years?
You had it in your back pocket this whole time. This is cool. Thank you for this. So whenever we say that you have to answer to 31 billionaires, how accurate is that?
32. Well, you're not counting Green Bay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
doesn't count.
Big Pop. There's a Green Bay Packers.
I didn't know he did.
Yeah, no, that was.
I don't actually think that way. I actually think I answer to them. I think I answer to the media partners. I think I answer the players. I think I answer the owners too. The idea for me is to try to keep everyone happy. I always say that my biggest job is not to piss off more than 24 owners in a given day.
How did you know the draft would be awesome if you traveled it, and did you see this happening?
I'd be kidding you if I thought it was going to be as big as it is. We felt like we could be bigger than we were in Radio City. But what happened is Radio City actually put a holiday show in and said, you can't have the draft until June. And that's what we said, we're out of here.
So they kicked you out?
That's when we went on the road.
Well, Taylor Swift, we know.
Well, that's a different kind of influence.
How about, hey, listen, a lot of jokes from
They're booing Taylor Swift?
Yeah, you can't boo.
They're idiots.
Yeah, you're going to be a part of an album.
Wow.
Do it. Get a little louder. She is going to cook you. A lot of the internet was saying Roger Goodell was sitting at home through the moon about this.
Well, they thought it was part of the script.
Yes, anyone talk to it. There it is. Is there a thought of adding another one, maybe adding another bye week, or are we good at 17 right now?
Well, I think we're good at 17 now, but listen, we're looking at how we continue. I'm not a fan of the preseason. I don't think we need preseason.
Waste of time, right, and energy.
I don't buy it, and I don't think these guys like it either.
Well, that's spend full price for the tickets for those games.
No, they're actually discounted now. So
Thank you for doing that.
I'd rather replace a preseason game with a regular season any day. That's just picking quality, right? If we got to 18-2, that's not an unreasonable thing. The other thing it does, which I thought you were going to, is that ends up on President's Day weekend, which is a 3-day weekend, which makes a Sunday night, and then you have Monday off. So that's wow. Now.
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey,
What?
let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, UP.
Damn it!
Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life.
Sport!
Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome. On this happy Juneteenth Wednesday, 2024, hour 2 of the program starts right now.
Sports!
Well, the greatest thing on earth, and we're lucky to talk about them every single day. We're not alone. No. We have some phenomenal people here every single day. The Toxic Table at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. Congratulations, Jordan Love is going to get a deal worth $70 million a year.
Hell yeah! Can't wait for him to sign on that dotted line. $70 million. Like I said, give him $100 million.
One half of the Hammer, Dahn, Cowboys, Tone Diggs, massive Pittsburgh Steelers fan. Justin Fields also. He's going to get a $350 million deal from the Pittsburgh Steelers in a matter of a year or so. That's Tone Diggs.
He's going to have to throw for 50 touchdowns and 4 interceptions.
Maybe.
He's got it.
You don't know with Artie Smith.
There's reports, Justin he's coming along, but Russ is looking a lot better in camp.
Well, they're not in it, right? I mean,
in OTAs.
They're in OTAs right now?
No, last week.
Okay, so the reports aren't coming out now. They're coming out from last week that Russ looked phenomenal.
Yeah.
Russ looked like old Russ?
Russ looked like old Russ. Justin looked like Justin.
Justin looked rather disinterested, they were saying.
Disinterested?
Yeah, now these reports came from one of those accounts. But so
he doesn't want to return kicks. What do you mean?
That was a fugazi.
Allegedly, that's fugazi, but not a bad idea. Maybe, maybe they should think about it.
Sources are saying that disinterested is also fugazi.
Okay, so Justin Fields. Everybody's trying to stack the odds against Justin Fields.
They are.
He was the only bright spot for that Chicago Bears offense that earned the number 1 overall pick a couple years back. I can't wait to see what Artie Smith, Mike Tomlin, and the Pittsburgh Steelers in a new environment do with Justin Fields. Or maybe he just stinks. I mean, maybe he just stinks. And Russell Wilson, maybe he's completely lost how to play football. Maybe something happened. We don't know if it was whenever he was Mr. Unlimited. Or when he was coming up with the Danger Witch, or whenever he was walking out of his house to his Bentley and those Mr. Good Guy clothes or whatever it was. We don't know what happened, when it happened, but the last couple years we've seen him play the ball, it has not been the best ball that we have ever seen Russell Wilson play. Him and the Broncos weren't on the same page, but if he goes to Pittsburgh with Mike Tomlin and George Pickens and Najee Harris, who's running for a contract potentially, with a defense that's phenomenal, knowing that you don't have to do anything and only get paid $1 million, maybe Russell Wilson will go back to his championship pedigree in the city of steel.
Yeah, I predict in, 10 years, Artie Smith is going to have a statue right next to Mike Tomlin, so that'll be just watch out for that.
So, because Mike Tomlin just signed the extension through 2027 or whatever it was, and he was thinking about retiring or going into TV or something like that. This is just warming up the bus for Artie Smith to be the next head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, 2028, Artie Smith is your next head coach after a couple Super Bowls. But you don't just fall into 26 touchdowns and 8 interceptions last year, okay? So they're pretty good numbers where I come from, okay? And I come from a football town. Same exact stats as Lamar Jackson, who a lot of people said could have won an MVP last year. Or wait, did win an MVP last year. So just, watch out.
Okay, Russell Wilson, fresh off an MVP-like year for the Denver Broncos.
Thank you. Took the words out of my mouth.
The Broncos took an $80 million salary cap hit over the next 2 years to get him out of their building, but Pittsburgh, obviously very excited for him to be there. I am pumped to see how...
70-20.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, he wasn't playing middle linebacker this game.
No, those yards count, though. Those yards count, obviously. He's gone. That wide receiver's gone. I mean, full chaos in Denver since he was their quarterback. But nonetheless, Pittsburgh's pumped about it. 9-year NFL vet, Darius J. Butler's here. That may be, buddy. 12-year NFL corner and Universal Records rapper. Pac-Man, Judge, you look cool today.
Hey, Pac.
Full FC Cincinnati fit, obviously.
Full FC Cincinnati fit today, man.
That's the MLS team in Cincinnati.
Yeah, and we're pretty good.
Not only pretty good, brand new stadium, right?
Yeah.
Full fan base, great sport, city's behind it.
Yeah, top of the art. Jeff did a really good job with putting it right in the smack of the middle of the city. It's a place to go see a soccer game.
Have you become a soccer fan because of them?
Of course. I actually like going to the game more than watching it on TV.
Yeah.
A little bit more faster.
Amen.
My kids will love it too. So it's a good kid atmosphere for the kids to take them out and enjoy about 4 hours of watching the ball game.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, soccer is long. It is a long commitment, obviously. We're in the middle of the Euros happening right now. The MLS, obviously, best league in the world. The Euros, allegedly the third biggest tournament in the world. It's World Cup, CONCACAF, and then the Euros.
MLS Cup.
MLS Cup.
Yeah,
You're right. And then El Clasico, I believe, which is something somewhere in America.
Correct.
And then,
Trafico.
yeah, there it is.
That's
in
the battle
LA.
of
That's the
LA,
one.
brother.
Yeah, that's LA. So that's obviously above it. But then there's the Methy Cup, whenever Methy plays against himself.
I guess technically the Copas as well, because we're playing in that this year.
Yeah, so that's above it. And then the Europes.
Exactly. So it's like 10th out of
Europe's
10,000.
pretty high up there, actually.
Well, no, because then you got the Champions League too somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Well, that's different. That's domestic, not international.
No, but
We're
just
talking about
ranking
total soccer.
Yeah.
As you heard, we had international tournaments and we had MLS involved. The Battle of Ohio, Columbus versus Cincinnati.
Oh, my
I
God.
mean, that is up there. So, anyways, the Europe's top 15 tournament in the world.
For
Top
sure.
2.
These games count yet? Or are these
Top
still
two.
friendlies?
No, these ones count.
Okay.
These ones, this is the
Show some respect. The Euros, dude. Come on, D-Buds. Oh, yeah. What's the big F1 race this weekend, D-Bud? Can't wait.
We're in Spain this week, actually.
Nobody's going to be paying attention if Spain's playing in the Europes. I think that is how Europe looks at the soccer. Gumpy, what do we need to know about the Euros? The other half of the hammer,
Dahn.
Cowboys, Bubba Gumpino, obviously massive footy fan.
Germany up 1-0 right now. Germany's looked very good. They're hosting, and Spain looked very good against Croatia in their first game. Ooh. Those are the two teams I'd say have looked the best so far. Mbappe, I don't know what's going on with him. Broken nose. People are saying he could be out for the game against the Netherlands, which would be huge as well.
Okay, so Mbappe, obviously one of the world stars, broke his nose. He's also out of PSG in France. He's headed to Barcelona, I do believe.
Real Madrid.
Okay, it all makes sense.
He was born to play for Real.
Yeah.
We've been talking about
He
that
was.
for a while.
Yeah, it's what he wanted to do.
Yeah.
Seen their locker room?
Who,
Unbelievable.
Real? Are they the ones with the hotels?
Yeah.
Yeah. They also,
Joe Palm,
they also have
big
the stadium.
soccer fan, just figured that out. That was weird.
What's that?
Joe Palm, massive soccer fan. He never saw that at Real Madrid's pitch before. That was weird.
They try to grow the game.
I appreciate
sorry.
Joe Palm.
I misunderstood.
I
Sorry.
appreciate Joe
That's on me.
Pompliano posting that because that's where, obviously, I learned that Real Madrid has hotel rooms for everybody, and Mbappe already has his assigned to him. king size suite.
Oh yeah,
nice bathroom to the side.
Absurd.
Little porch out there, balcony if they want to smoke some dubs, right overlooking the entire thing. I appreciate what Real.
They also have the stadium, which NFL owners take notice that the grass doesn't walk outside. It walks downstairs about 18 levels to an infrared red.
What?
Infrared light, full sprinkler system. Walks downstairs so that you can put other, if they have concerts or the NBA is going to play there. I think.
Yeah, they do this thing that's like a transformer, and then it
gets red light therapy.
Yes.
Yeah, it does. AQ Shipley.
It's like our friend who was growing weed in a closet. You're able to set that the red light and then the watering sprinkler system. You're able to make it perfect so that the pitch is perfect for the Real Madrid boys who are coming out of their patios smoking dubs through their hotel rooms to come practice.
Yeah. Exactly.
Right. And that's why we love Real Madrid football.
Yeah.
That's Real Madrid football.
That's right.
And they signed Mbappe, and obviously we're hoping that Real Madrid will join the MLS.
Correct.
So they can really get a test.
There's been talks.
Yeah, if they had a brain.
Yeah, that's what we're saying.
I mean, Mbappe, what's he doing, by the way? La Liga, who gives a shit, brother?
Come to the MLS.
MLS is where it's at.
Cristiano Ronaldo, at the age of 40, he played for Portugal, right?
Yeah, I played yesterday, full game.
Okay, him playing is a big deal, right? Because Portugal has a loaded roster.
Yeah, goalie made a huge save on him in like the 32nd minute, and then they did bring some of their youngsters on who scored too late to win the game 2-1.
Joining us now is a soccer expert. Ladies and gentlemen, AJ Hawk.
Yeah.
AJ, you've been watching the Europes, obviously. What team has really caught your eye?
I tell you, Mbappe, if he doesn't get that, hopefully he can wear a mask and take care of it and play, like the basketball players do and get out there. I heard he had surgery, though, right?
Yeah, well, I don't.
On a broken nose?
No surgery. Did not have surgery.
Oh, okay. Then mask him up, get him out there. I like his squad.
Well, yeah, I like the way Mbappe moves around, but have you seen this 16-year-old from Spain?
Wow.
This dude, he's a real Yamin, I believe is his last name.
Yeah.
He's the real deal. This guy.
And he's playing with the main squad?
Starting.
Not just playing. He's taking free.
16 years old.
Yeah, he's the guy. Everybody knows he's the guy. He's being treated as if he's the guy by his Spain teammates, which is cool. Because we've seen other leagues
for sure
have somebody show up that is younger and is the person, and they've kind of just like shunned them out. This 16-year-old, they're like, thank you for coming and putting a cross around two people's heads right onto goal. Like he had an assist in their first game. It was filthy. He's the one. Which, by the way, we'd like to make him a formal offer to come play for FC Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Bingo.
If he wants to come play in the biggest league in the world, come over to MLS.
Enter Miami. Come down with Messi.
No, you guys got too much.
Come down with Messi.
You got too many down there in Miami.
The Indy team. I mean, we should just have him.
11?
Yeah. No. That Indy MLS team they're working on.
Well, allegedly, there's a big dispute between the city and Indy 11.
Why?
I don't know all the ins and outs, but one of them's not happy about the other one potentially existing.
Correct.
And I think it's both sides, actually.
I think you're right.
Yeah, they're both.
Yeah, both sides hate it. So the city, I think, is looking for an MLS team. Indy 11 has been a team that's in the USL.
NWSL?
What? The one right below.
one. Yeah.
Right below the MLS. They have like a full-on facility, practice facility, whole thing. I guess there's a little bit of a conflict of interest taking place on who's going to exist, how they're going to exist, what they're going to exist. Big soccer town here. I hope if the Indy 11 go to the MLS, sweet. If we get an MLS team, sweet. But we need 16-year-old from Spain to join our team.
Exactly. Come on, I mean.
And also, they think Methie is going to stay in Miami forever. Wait till Indy gets a team.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Wait until Methie learns about this.
Wait until he sees the zoo. He sees that
Especially in the
thing.
summer.
So lively.
Yeah.
I don't think
Cristiano Ronaldo is going to come here.
Yep.
We're going to buy him out of the Saudi deal. How much did he get paid by Saudi? $1 billion?
$500 million, yeah.
That's plenty.
He can drum that
He'll
up.
do it.
He can own all the buildings. Let's just give him all the buildings in Indianapolis.
There was a vote that just came out. Indianapolis, one of the best cities to be in the summer.
I saw that. India's
Worse.
very nice.
Worse.
No. It's one of the best.
Worse.
One of the best to be in. One of the worst to travel to. That's the difference.
Forbes
here.
has ranked the Circle City in the top 10 worst U.S. cities to travel to in the summer. Yeah, exactly. Don't come here.
Yeah.
Have they not
To
seen
be
the
in.
beautiful
Great to live
beaches
in.
and
Look at
stuff?
that.
there?
Great to live in.
Looks like Venice.
They
Yeah,
don't
exactly.
get it. They don't
Thank
get it.
you.
Hey,
Thank you.
Summer solstice is tomorrow. Guess what city is going to be brightest and longest?
Who's that?
Let me think about that. Indianapolis, Indiana.
Oh, yeah. The sun's going to be out at 10:30 p.m. tomorrow night.
Suck it, rest of the U.S.
I did
cities
leave the
except for
golf-
Boston.
I did leave the golf course about 9:35.
Still like you could play another 9 holes.
Yeah. It's amazing they were able to get the entire city skyline in that one picture.
Hey, Nick, you're not helping.
That's what makes it cool, man.
Jeez
There it is.
Louise.
Yep.
It is crazy. You if you take a trip from New York to Indianapolis, you like fly over New York and it's like 20 minutes. You're still. And then when you fly into Indianapolis, you see it.
Salesforce building.
Where the hell is it?
It's the only one.
It's a beautiful small town, which is why it's great to be here.
Absolutely.
That is fantastic.
I mean,
to be
they
here.
could have chosen a worse picture. That is a beautiful picture of downtown Indianapolis.
What do you mean worse? There's no such thing as a bad picture.
Well, I'm just saying, if you want to really play it up, like,
Yeah.
hey, this place is a shithole. Don't take the most beautiful picture of the canal and the city skyline.
Well, I believe that was us that did that.
Oh,
that was probably Mitt right there.
That makes sense.
Mitt, good work.
It
was.
Indiana, the Pacers have signed Pascal Siakam to a 4-year, $189.5 million deal. That's fully guaranteed. That's how the NBA works. So the Pacers get Tyrese Halliburton for another few years. You get Spicy P for another few years. We need to sign TJ McConnell. And we got people in national publications saying, don't travel to Indianapolis. Don't look now. Indy's the greatest place on earth to be.
Amen.
That is amazing news. Have you seen what's going on downtown Indianapolis, Lucas Oil Stadium? They're having the Olympic qualifiers for the Team USA swim team. They're swimming in Lucas Oil Stadium right now, put an Olympic-sized pool in Lucas Oil Stadium. They had 20,000 people on Sunday, which is the largest crowd to ever watch somebody swim or something like that. They had 17,000 on a Saturday. Each night, there's world records being broken in downtown Indy, and they got this place packed out and electric. I guess the vibes are insane down there. I do not know how the swimming community operates because I only get to watch every 4 years. And without Michael Phelps, to be honest, maybe I didn't tune in as much. But every one of those races, it always comes down to a fingertip on a wall. And then the explosion afterwards is insane. It always seems to be incredibly intense. And I understand that swimmers, they got to wake up at like 4 a.m. through their entire life to get pool time. It's a real commitment. Swimming sucks. It is impossible. It is so hard to do. But in Indianapolis at Lucas Oil Stadium, they're swimming in front of crowds that are bigger than ever before. And I guess American records and world records are being broken every single night here in downtown Indianapolis. Don't look now. We got Spicy P and Tyrese Halliburton. Caitlin Clark is on the Indiana Fever.
Right.
People are saying don't travel here. And we got Olympic-sized swimming pools in our NFL stadiums right now with the community coming together in a bigger way than ever before. Indianapolis might be the place to be.
Without a doubt. Also, the time-lapse video of them actually putting the pool together was like one of the coolest things I've ever seen. And we were worried about it, but we don't have Phelps anymore. Kat Ledecky absolutely brought Lucas Oil to its knees the other night. Won every single race she's in. She's
never lost.
Yeah, exactly.
She's still doing it?
Oh, yeah. Still doing it.
Wow. Still winning by full pool lengths.
Yeah, I think she's competing in like 5 or 6 events in the Olympics. So you can just go ahead and cross those out. That's a gold medal for Kat Ledecky in the U.S.
And I think there is a couple swimmers in there trying out new techniques with a little bit more flair.
Interesting.
I think they're doing like 420 flip turns.
Okay, sure.
More momentum.
Yeah, they're spinning more.
Just Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, just a little more pizzazz. That's why they're in NFL stadium.
Because they're already qualified, you think? So they just, hey, we're playing with house money here. Let's try
Yeah,
something.
and people are up in the top. We need to make sure they can see us. So they do a couple flip and a half, and then they're coming out the other way.
Swim to the bottom sometimes just to touch the floor.
Bingo, yeah.
Check this out.
Dive in, off the
I think
blocks.
you're DQ'd if you do touch the floor, aren't you?
What?
It's one of the.
If
It's one of the
you-
I know
if
as a
you
kid on the
stand-
swim team, if you touch the ground, you're DQ'd.
Oh, shit.
How about them doing this? How about them doing the Phelps does the
Oh, yeah.
on the block.
Warm-ups are sick.
And then they hit that whole gun thing, and they're like, beep, and then they walk in, and it's like, could you imagine him, Man on Fire?
Yeah.
Yeah, bingo.
Chrissy Bear.
Yeah, Peter.
The gun, you can't. You can lose the race right there.
Oh, yeah.
You can lose the race right there.
DQ.
They said Ledecky actually did a twisty McFlurry.
No.
Yeah, she did a gainer
Big
on one of
twist.
the
Yeah,
boards.
twisted
Yeah.
off the
Yeah, she can't open.
Did a gainer.
Are they doing dive there too in water polo, or is it just swimming?
Just swimming, dude.
Okay.
Just swimming.
The
got access
diving
to
is in a
sweet?
different building.
Oh, they don't.
How much did
so
that
it's kinda-
cost to put that pool in? Are you kidding me? What is that? $20 million?
Well,
That feels
could've
like
been $1 billion.
Ursay took the money, thought he was going to fly Lolita
I'm
across the
FaceTiming
world,
Phelps. I'm FaceTiming Phelps.
Okay.
and he used that money to
Get him
build
to
the
do
pool.
it.
He couldn't do this for Lolita?
This was the pool that was going to go in the plane.
He tried
They just
to,
decided
T-Bud.
Yeah, they just repurposed it. That's why we got the qualifiers, because we already had the pool ready for 777.
Lolita got all upset because she was going to leave her friends.
Hey, we're live. We're live. We are live on the air right now. Okay?
CP right now. Let's go.
Okay.
Me and Chandler Parsons.
Oh, hey, CP, what's going on, dude? You look, boys. All right, the boys are seemingly having a little.
Yeah, right now.
They swimming?
What's good?
Seemingly,
Captain America.
Okay, Phelps, quick question. CP, good to see you, dude. You're crushing it on TV. We love hearing it. And congrats on another great NBA season. Phelps, hey, This thing that's happening at Lucas Oil Stadium right now, this is to go to the Olympics? Why aren't you there, first of all? And who should we be looking for to really have a big couple nights here in Indianapolis?
Well, I texted you the other day. I'm coming in. I'll be there on Friday.
Are you stopping by Thunderdome?
I'm in Indy on Friday.
Okay, Phelps. Sweet. Greatest Olympic of all time coming to Thunderdome on Friday.
I'm covering some stuff with NBC on Friday.
Okay.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Honestly, this thing, it's the greatest. Look, like to be able to have the Olympic trials inside a football arena, like, are you kidding me? To cram 20,000 people in there, it's the biggest venue we've ever had in the sport. And look, like, to be able to have some of these fresh new faces that we have out there making the team and being able to accomplish their dreams. Look, we got some studs coming up in this sport. Plus, we got some veterans with Katie, with Katie Ledecky, with Caleb Dressel, Ryan Murphy. Some of these people are making their third Olympic team, fourth Olympic team. So pretty talented athletes out there. And look, this is probably more intense than the actual Olympics. To be able to compete in the trials where you have, 2 to 2,500 swimmers and you're competing for 52 spots. It's pretty intense, bro.
Okay, hey, we can't wait to see you on Friday. Safe travels out here, and thank you for the heads up.
100%. Good to see you all, boys.
Hey, you look jacked, dude. Hey, are you still swimming?
Come on. I told you, come get in the gym, dog.
No. All right, I'll see you, dude. See you. Okay, so this is a big deal.
Shout out Phelps for answering.
Yeah.
Shut up.
How about Phelps?
That was cool.
Yeah, that was sweet.
Yeah, he has these cold tubs, the goat tubs or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
And he's got the hot tub next to the cold tub. And I got influenced by Instagram with it. So I reached out, I think, to JJ, and I'm like, because I think they're in the same Arizona friend. That Arizona sports
Circle.
Illuminati they got going on out there is huge. And connected us. I guess Phelps has seen the show, watches the show, which is sweet. Then I started firing off questions to him. I'm like, so it's a waste of money if I buy this? Well, I don't understand what's the deal. He's like, no, man, I wanted something that was very easy to use. Like, he went on a full sales. So I bought it, obviously. Anytime Phelps is selling something, I'm probably going to buy it. But then he'll send me, I'll get a motivational text every once in a while from Phelps. Like,
it's awesome.
Hey, let's make sure we're getting after it today. I'm like,
Michael.
Yeah, you're right, Phelps. I do need to get after it today. But yeah, 2,500 people potentially competing for 52 spots. That's a wild scene.
Yeah, and it's probably the biggest crowd, obviously, any of them ever swam.
How much does it? Well, we got so many more questions. Why don't we ask him more questions?
Yeah, who's like the next one? Who's the next?
Well, he'll be
And also, does the crowd make you?
Yeah.
A little jumpy.
Can you hear underwater?
It's another great question.
No,
especially with those caps on. And do they have wax?
They can. He can definitely hear it. When he's coming down the final stretch, they know. They push him to the finish.
And what was that gimmick they were wearing that was making them cheat? Remember they were wearing? There was some gimmick.
Do they still wear those
banned
suits?
it, right? They banned those suits. Some of those suits, at least the full body, maybe, I think.
It was like the chest anchored putter got banned or whatever because it was too much. They had one of those full body suits that was too mermaidy.
Yeah, it was like when you draft in NASCAR, the draft that you were getting wearing them suits, boy, were they flying.
They're propellers.
Yeah.
Which is
they lube them up? Can they lube them up? Put KY on them or what?
I'm not sure. I think wife and I are going to go stop by at that. We were invited by Kyle Sockwell. And by invited, I mean, he told his followers on the internet that he would get a For the Brand tattoo on his ass if I went and stopped by this thing. And
Sweet.
then all of his followers were like, come on. So obviously I couldn't act like I just didn't see it. Then I got a chance to chat with Kyle. Good energy. This guy don't need the ass tat. Please.
Sure.
Do not do the ass tat. Love his energy, though. So I think we're going to go down and check it out. And sounds like it's going to be intense. And
You going to get in? You think you can get a few laps in?
I got a hole in my eardrum. You know that. I can't.
Well, you can put a deal in there.
Do a can opener. Oh, that'd be sick.
Oh, you could splash like the 50th row.
I just tried that.
How does it feel?
It'll help the hip flexor.
What's that?
You got to do a sleeper.
Swimming
No.
does.
In the ocean. In the ocean.
Rehab,
any pool, any water.
Could you imagine me trying to get from one end of that? The Olympic pools are so big.
Massive.
You show up at somebody's house and say, hey, it's an Olympic-sized swimming pool. You go, wow, you have too much fucking money.
Yeah.
That's why, because of how big they are. They are so large.
Is there a deep end or is it all like just 5 foot the entire way?
I think it's all like 9 feet, 10 feet.
Yeah, I think it's very deep.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I
They
think
got
it should
a
be.
flip turn.
Yeah, we don't need it to be that deep. Okay.
I mean, Phelps's arm, it's 5 feet. Phelps's arms are so damn long, he might drag the bottom.
Bingo.
Look at
Call
that.
Phelps back.
Yeah,
He'll be
get
halfway
the
out of
how
it.
deep is Olympic?
What are him and Chandler
those-
doing? Shooting hoops?
Do those underwater headphones work I see on the commercials?
Yeah, I think
Was
you know.
is it one of his commercials?
I knew it.
No.
Look at the recommended depth.
Yeah, but the minimum is where you need to be.
Yeah, but does it? He's not going to answer this.
I miss Phelps out there, man.
Me too.
Yeah.
Phelps was electric.
Yeah.
So they would show him when other races were happening, like Phelps is starting to listen to his Lil Wayne soundtrack. Like that.
Him walking up.
Yeah, he's golfing right now. Jeez.
He could definitely win another gold. He could win a gold in something right now.
Yeah.
For sure.
Wasn't there something, though, about like, I don't want to, be negative or something. Like, he was committing his entire.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it was a full life, all encompassing.
A lot.
This is everything I do is to swim fast.
And,
Like,
and for a guy like him, like, they had like the world championships and stuff like that. Like, that didn't mean shit. It was like, hey, you got to go win Olympic gold medals. So it's like, all the other stuff. It's basically you're training every single day for 4 years, and then if you don't seal the deal there, like, just a massive waste of 4 years.
We've been talking about speed, right? In sports. Can you imagine him on the water polo with that wingspan? The shots that he can get off.
Oh, my gosh.
Jump out of the water.
He can still. I mean, that's normally.
Yeah, he can.
Yeah.
What's that called when you're staying afloat?
Oh,
tread. Phelps can tread water.
Yeah,
treaded water
without his arm.
Well, you use your feet as a.
Are your feet together like a mermaid? Are you keeping your feet together like a mermaid?
My feet are separated. Just kick it back and forth. I'm not a good water treader mostly because I just sink. I am not a floater naturally.
Yeah.
So you got to tread water like this, and Phelps could
easily.
Oh my God, just kick
him with the ball.
I do wonder how
swimming
long
around
he can hold his breath. I think he can hold his breath for like 5-6 minutes.
What did David Blaine do?
Like 10
3 hours.
Did a long. I bet you could look that up actually.
A few hours.
How long Phelps can hold his breath? Probably 4
Had to
minutes.
have already done that. Right?
Yeah, exactly. He's definitely done that.
I watched a guy online that holds his breath for 10 minutes underwater.
Who?
He's like a free diver, dude. He teaches people how to hold your breath underwater.
I have seen that before.
Is that Tyler?
Is it Tyler? Is that Tyler?
The SEALs have to do like 5-6 minutes, right? Like they have to. Don't they have to?
They get dropped out in the middle of the ocean and say you got to swim back.
Yeah.
I think it's just survival.
That's Jack Carr.
I don't know.
They gotta drown and come back.
New book.
Sure, right?
Yeah, they tie their hands to their feet, and then they have to tread water for 5 minutes.
You gotta go up and down. They go to the bottom, then push up. They put you in there for like 5 minutes, hands behind your back, feet tied together, and you just got to go up, grab a breath of air, go back down.
Yeah.
So you got to stay calm. I've seen it. It would be scary.
Oh yeah, Coast Guard I believe also does some obscene.
Yeah, Ashton
breath
Kutcher.
holding.
I saw that movie.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
Yes, The Guardian. Yeah,
unbelievable.
Are Legends what known for what they did, or I forget the final quote is a good one.
I know, it's great. I
is
can't think of it either.
That one almost made me cry.
Oh,
When
yeah.
he's saving a life and the ghost of Kevin Costner helps him.
Yeah. The Ghost of the Sea.
Oh yeah.
And then is it what you do in your life, or is it how you remember it? after
Echoes
you
in
die, or
eternity.
something like that.
That's glad.
That's Gladiator.
Different movie.
But they might have
Gladiator, great though.
kind of also about Kevin Costner.
Yeah, I mean you got to do what you got to
Both
do.
movies.
So Indianapolis obviously is hosting now Olympic qualifiers in the Lucas Oil Stadium with the biggest crowd ever.
Sweet.
We re-signed Tyrese Halliburton, Pascal Siakam, TJ McConnell's going to sign a lifetime deal as well.
He better.
Caitlin Clark's here doing it with the Fever.
Yeah, big game.
Yeah.
I think they've won some games.
Oh yeah, get on the run.
Monday Night Raw is on Monday.
Oh.
People are saying don't move here, and I'm pushing WWE to do big things here in Indy. This city's the place.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, big time.
Don't listen to that national publication that's saying don't travel to Indy.
Oh no
Place is
shit.
happening.
Yeah, we'd rather you didn't.
Bingo.
It would be great if you didn't, but also don't be scared to stop by. We got a great downtown area.
It's wonderful.
Everything's walkable.
Couple nice walks.
Great
best.
restaurants.
Bingo.
Airport's great.
Airport's quick.
In and
There's
out, yep.
only 4 flights in and out of there, so you're gonna have to sign up for those.
Yeah, if you don't mind connecting, it's great.
But hey, if you're in a connecting city,
Yeah, bingo.
direct flight,
Yeah,
exactly.
that's what you got to do. And the Indianapolis Colts are going to win the Super Bowl.
Okay.
Okay, that needs to be talked about. The AFC is obviously going to be very difficult. Have you seen everything happening with the Cincinnati Bengals, AJ? It legitimately feels like their team is tight. That T. Higgins thing could have potentially been a situation. Jamar Chase, not getting paid yet, could potentially be a situation. Joey Burrow obviously misses some OTAs, coming back with a wrist injury, could be a situation. Instead, it's complete opposite. I have nothing but faith in this Cincinnati Bengals team going into this year. Do you feel the exact same way? And have you seen Joey Burrow over at Paris Fashion Week beating the shit out of people in chess? I like that there's a big, dumb American football player cooking people in Paris in chess, the consummate, sophisticated game, whatever it is.
Yeah, this is cool to see, but you're right. When you have contract situations, especially with receivers, like a lot of times it'll end up okay, but it'll turn nasty for a little bit. And I've never sensed anything of that with the Bengals and Jamar and T. Higgins and everything. Everyone seems to understand where they're at. and they probably feel like, hey, this is our year. Let's go win a Super Bowl right now. This is our time.
I think it's because of his leadership, too. I think Joey Burrow, great leader. Like I think he is a phenomenal leader. You see, obviously, what happens at LSU whenever he gets there as a transfer out of Ohio State when he couldn't get on the field. And then he gets to Cincinnati, and everybody kind of knows he's the guy. He takes his hits. He takes his lumps. Everybody loves him. He seemingly never says anything dumb.
No.
Like ever. No. In any situation. He is the perfect guy to be the Cincinnati Bengals quarterback, which leads us to this, Pac-Man Jones, who obviously lives in a city very close to the Bengals. Is it Super Bowl or bust? Is that what everybody's thinking?
Of course it's
Super Bowl or bust.
It is Super Bowl or bust.
Doesn't that suck right now? Because Patrick Mahomes is in the AFC East and or in the AFC, and then every other team that's in the AFC, it's stacked. Like, this is not a good time to be Super Bowl or bust in the AFC.
Super Bowl or bust because we the only one have Patrick Mahomes' number. Joe the only one beat him 2 times at home. So if we can stay healthy, I think we'll be really good on the back end. We're getting Geno from Baltimore. With Luke Holland, the defense. I think we'll be really good if we can stay healthy. If we stay healthy, we should make it at least to the championship or the Super Bowl.
Isn't that wild? Nobody else really outside of Cincinnati is talking about Cincinnati being Super Bowl or bust. Wow. But it is a legitimate feel. Like it is, and it makes sense why they would feel that way. Just a few years back, they're in there. And if Aaron Donald isn't Aaron Donald, there's a chance Joe Hitch chase on that.
Yeah.
And the Cincinnati wins the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And the Los Angeles Rams do not. It's wild to think that we're not that far removed from that entire thing.
Well, in there, I feel like there are teams that are realistic about it. Like, that is a realistic expectation. Then there are other teams like the Buffalo Bills where you want to be a Super Bowl team, but like you can't go that far. But you could probably throw Houston in there now too because of what Houston's done. Like Houston, even though it's only D'Amico's second year and CJ's second year, like I'm assuming they're Super Bowl or bust, especially with the moves they made. Like they got Joe
Real
Mixon.
quick, in locker room, always Super Bowl or bust.
For sure.
Joe Thomas even mentioned after he retired for the Browns, every year that he went into the season, even the years where they went winless, he thought they had a chance to win a Super Bowl. Like, players have to. Nick. Nick.
Got a point.
Players have to have that belief. Now, there's a few weeks into this season, and you start looking around, and you go, we ain't got it. Yeah, we ain't got it here. But I'm talking like fans thinking like Super Bowl or bust. And Cincinnati feels like everybody's on the same page there.
It's a new standard. I grew up close to Cincinnati, a Bengals fan. There were some bad times. There were some rough times. You go to a game in Cincinnati back in the day, and fans are yelling that they want an aquarium, tear the stadium down. We don't want this thing anymore. Like, that's how it used to be back in the day, I think. So the fact that they've changed the standard, and once you've elevated to where that's what it is, like Foxy knows that as a Lions fan. He's not just saying, hey, I just want to get to let's get a playoff win. That'd be amazing. No, like they've reset where they are as a franchise.
100%. Super Bowl or bust for the Lions. I never thought we would be here, but after seeing what we did last year, the team only got better. We got to win the Super Bowl.
Absolutely.
Got to do it.
And teams, fans, 4 teams, they changed during the year. Like the Jets start 6-0. Obviously, right now, people in New York, who knows what they think, but I assume that they would just be happy with going to the playoffs and winning the playoff game. If the Jets start 6-0, those Jets fans are going to start saying, okay, Super Bowl or bust. Like, this is it. This is our
Just like they did last year.
Bingo.
Whenever it was all getting started going into the year, that was the belief, that was the hope in Miami. Are you guys Super Bowl or bust with the Dolphins?
I mean, shit, everybody else says, Super Bowl or bust.
Not everybody. Not everybody.
Colts are not Super Bowl or bust.
Patriots are not Super Bowl.
Colts are not Super Bowl or bust. I think Colts fans have a realistic expectation that this is Anthony Richardson's rookie year. True. And if we make to the playoffs, win a playoff game, holy hell, let's roll. And I don't want to say we're anywhere near how the Detroit Lions fans felt, because I think with Shane Steichen, we're not going to feel that way for long. But with what happened to Anthony going into this year, I think there is a very natural, we could still have a good year without, when we can progress. And
You're in a great spot. I think you're in a great spot, don't you think? Because it's not Super Bowl or bust, but it's like, hey, we could actually enjoy these wins now. It's not like, hey, how are we going to do in the playoffs? Because once you set that standard towards Super Bowl or bust, the regular season, you can get excited for it. Yeah, let's see how we play when it matters. I feel like with the Colts, you can actually enjoy the season. Like, you can enjoy a hard-fought win in Week 7.
And it's not good to get to this point as a fan base, because with Peyton and Andrew Luck and everything, it was in the first couple years there with Phillip Rivers and Carson Wentz and
Matt
Ryan.
Yep.
That was still the Colts fans. Hey, we got a lot of the Colts back in the day. Colts stink. Got it. But since there was a sheriff that came along, there's a statue outside now, we're playing for Super Bowls. We're playing just like everybody else. We're trying to get there. So we have been, I don't want to say Colts fans have been beaten down, but Colts fans have been beaten down almost to the point where it's like, All right, let's refine ourselves.
Yeah, exactly.
And let's have a little bit of progress. So it's like if we were to win the Super Bowl, Colts fans would be incredibly surprised and jacked. But if we were to win a playoff game, I think just like how the Houston Texans felt this past year with the rookie quarterback, it's like, hey, I like where we're headed right now. So it seems like there's feels like there's probably two different looks at this.
If you have your quarterback in place. Like, you got a quarterback that's making 50 plus. Obviously, Lamar, Burrow, all these guys, Hurts in Philly. Like, if you're in those situations, I feel like Goff in Detroit, you're in that situation. Even Green Bay. I mean, Green Bay is kind of probably 6 games away from next season. All right, we don't win the Super Bowl this year, we're disappointed. But if you got those things in place,
Dallas,
for sure, Dallas, I feel like every year for them with those expectations.
I was in a car.
Oh my God!
So it's real.
It's real.
I didn't know this. I was in Texas. I was in a couple cars. Down there. Great people, great hospitality. Boy, Cowboys gonna win the Super Bowl. That is.
They're confident. They like it.
Oh yeah. And then there's people I guess that don't. But I got a chance to experience some down there in Corpus Christi. Not even in the car, but also walking around arena. I get to experience some of these Cowboys fans that everybody talks about. Like the people are like, these Cowboys fans are delusional. And then I got a chance to talk walking around the arena down in Corpus Christi, Texas, to a couple of them, and they are, we're winning it. Yeah. Good. NFC East, who cares? What are you talking about? I'm like, well, the Eagles just got better, right? They got Saquon Barkley. You're like, the Eagles are the Eagles. Did you see what they did at the end of the year? It's like, did you see what you guys did?
Got beat by 50 in the playoffs.
Did you guys see what did you? And they're like, and I'm like, McCarthy, lame duck head coach. He's only in 1 year. No, he just got to prove it. I'm like, well, how's he gonna win a Super? He'll win a Super Bowl. He'll prove it. It's like, okay, he's got to win a Super Bowl, and that'll prove that he deserves the job. After Dak Prescott last year, lame duck quarter. No, just go get that done. But also win a Super Bowl. He's betting on himself. I'm like, to be a Cowboy or go somewhere else? He's never leaving the Cowboys. It's like, okay. There's like $275 million offers to quarterbacks that have done a lot less in the NFL than Dak Prescott right now. If he was to become a free agent, oh my God, the money that would get offered to Dak Prescott would be phenomenal to watch unfold. But there's so many storylines as we sit.
77 days, 78 days.
Have you stopped updating?
I honestly am just trying to. I got pretty bummed that when I was updating it the other day, and I was like, all right. Usually, if I get bummed out, I'll wait a couple days, and then the number changes drastically, and it feels so much better.
Oh, so it's on hold?
Yeah, well, it's not on hold.
Do you have that in there? Like, hey, actually not this many days?
No, because that's my other favorite part about it.
81 days till the NFL football. That's not real.
Yeah, so it might be 80 days because I did update it yesterday. But no, but that's also the other cool part about it, because say you check today and I don't update it until Friday, it's like, whoa, I thought we were 81 days. All of a sudden we're 77 days. Yeah. This is awesome. Yeah.
He used to change his entire name. It is football, his name now. That used to be the countdown to the NFL season, but then X said if you change your name, you lose this, you lose your check mark, you get married and everything like that until they okay it. 7,288 days till a show in a Thunderdome. That's the number.
Yeah, look, that one's getting smaller every day.
I think it's too small, actually.
That's a lot of days.
No, it's May 23rd, 2044.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll still be doing a show.
Yeah. And that countdown will still be going.
Yeah, we'll still be in a Thunderdome. Yeah, that's certainly how this company has operated.
No doubt about it.
Staying consistent with doing something.
For sure.
Yeah, that is. Don't get bored and move on to other things.
We never do that.
Never. Nope. That's not our thing.
Mm-mm.
Actually, you get so bored you don't even update the countdown to the NFL football.
No, that's not about being bored. That's
you
about
said
being
that you get
bummed out.
Yeah. Well, he's celebrating a championship, too.
Sure.
Yeah. Big couple days.
Just remind me.
Is that the real Lario?
This is Lario, baby. That's my day with it. It ends today, but I'm going to get a replacement for this one so I can keep it on the desk.
Do you feel good about any of the rookie quarterbacks, AJ Hawk? Because as I look around, surprisingly feel very good about Drake May early here, because all conversation going in to the NFL season by people with brains and know the football say, hey, Drake's going to need some time. And Drake's not the only one, though. Every rookie quarterback is going to need some time. And we rush these guys into playing too early, and every once in a while somebody will catch fire like C.J. Stroud did last year. But inevitably, you're getting drafted high. The team that you're getting drafted to probably not in the best position or best shape. For you to be forced into a position that is the most difficult on the field in your rookie campaign with the expectations of you becoming an All-Pro and Hall of Famer are just too much to surmount and to be good or worth a damn early is seemingly the trend that has happened in the NFL with young quarterbacks. Then you start looking at all the success stories at the quarterback position. You start seeing people that waited. Jordan Love, the most recent, waited. Then he had his success. C.J. Stroud, though, is the anomaly. He was the one who was dropped in immediately with a franchise that was seemingly a dumpster fire with a new head coach and turned him around in 1 year. Who will be the next C.J. Stroud? Will there be a next C.J. Stroud? How do you feel about all these young quarterbacks, and what do you think we need to be looking at during training camp whenever it inevitably gets here?
Man, I mean, all the clips will come out of camp when they'll either kill a guy or say he's great for a ball he threw probably in pat and goes, which doesn't really mean anything. It's warm-ups. But I look at, their surrounding cast, not only the players, who do they have to throw to, who's protecting them, but who's your OC, who's calling the plays? Because we know, especially as any quarterback in the league, but especially as a rookie, you need that play caller, you need to be on the same page, and that dude needs to know what you do well, what you don't do well, and you need to, progress throughout the season. So I want to see who has the best supporting cast around them. And I think I also like dudes that played a lot in college and have a ton of reps. I think that always helps. Now, obviously, there's guys that come in and start for 1 year in college and they come out and they're awesome in the pros, but I think it never hurts to have a bunch of reps at the quarterback position.
And obviously the weirdest one, a guy who got a lot of reps, Penix, down there in Atlanta. We're all hoping, I think, that we don't see him, because then that means that Kirk Cousins, who got paid a $180 million contract, 100 and whatever, guaranteed, is having success. But if Kirk flops around a little bit with a new OC, new offense, not that he will, we're seeing highlights of him sling it, new building, new everything. The calls for Penix are going to be loud, and they're going to be deafening. But the Atlanta Falcons set themselves up for this. They'll handle it. They understand how to handle it, yada, yada, yada. Then you go to Drake May. It's Drake May is going to have to work on some things. Well, they're saying he is working on these things. And every day he's getting better because of how athletic he is, the type of mindset he has. Obviously, the family he came from is a great one, except for that drunk uncle that he has. Yep. But they're talking about, Drake May, every day they're seeing leaps and bounds of improvement. So everything that people were potentially worried about, saying he needed to wait it out for, he's getting better. They got Jacoby Brissett there, though, who has obviously been a starter before, knows the system, knows the offense, can take some time off of him. Then you go over to the Minnesota Vikings. They bring in Sam Darnold on a $10 million a year contract because they got to get rid of Kirk Cousins, because they got to pay Justin Jefferson. They draft J.J. McCarthy at number 11 overall. Kevin O'Connell, who's been able to get anybody open in any offense with any quarterback seemingly as the offense coordinator, head coach for the Minnesota Vikings. He says Sam Darnold's our guy. He's going to be the starter going in training camp. That's just taking the pressure off J.J. McCarthy. I like this move with everybody knowing Sam Darnold's the guy. So this rookie who is very capable, has won a lot, very handsome, affable. They talk about everything that's great about him. There's not a lot of pressure on him going into the season. How do you feel about that decision by Kevin O'Connell?
I like that because I think you need to have a clearly defined QB. And I heard you guys talking about quarterback competitions. And if you're opening up camp with a competition, I understand, I guess some teams kind of have to do that or they feel like they need to, but I think it's always good for everybody to know who our guy is. And when you do it this way, I think Pac said it earlier, if you start JJ right away and say he's not playing well, you don't want to have to yank that dude 7, 8, 10 games into the season, but you could do it the other way around if Sam struggles or gets hurt for some reason.
Yeah, so you can kill it. You can kill a guy almost early.
Oh, yeah. And then think about, if you have to get yanked out, you can obviously come back from, but man, it's got to be a tough road back to there. So, just let him sit, and hopefully McCarthy doesn't have to play. I mean, that's what teams hope to do when you have a young guy. You hope the guy in front of him is playing well enough. We don't have to plug him in, but man, and imagine the growth you can have as a McCarthy from first day of training camp to week 10 of the season. You're a completely different player. How much he knows, how comfortable he feels, even in the huddle, calling plays, throwing to everybody. So. Yeah, I think this is a good move.
And allegedly, he's a quick learner and everything like that, so he'll be able to see Sam Darnold make mistakes. He'll be able to see Sam Darnold execute properly. He'll be able to watch Sam Darnold in the locker room. Sam Darnold's obviously been in a lot of buildings. He'll be able to have conversations. He'll be able to set up what his professional routine and schedule will look like as opposed to what it was whenever he was in college. And there's more clips coming out that showcase how good of a teammate this guy is. I think he's going to be the perfect backup for anybody if he needs it. He'll buy in, do his role, although he wants to be a starter. Remember, Harbaugh said, this is the best quarterback that he's ever seen. This is the best anything. And obviously they win a national championship together. But did you see the opening pitch situation with the Twins?
Yeah, what happened exactly?
Okay, so the Twins put out a social media video. Okay, so here's Dallas Turner, I do believe.
Yep.
Rookie for the Minnesota Vikings. And him and JJ were talking about, let's just get it to the glove. Little nerves, obviously throwing an opening pitch. Dallas Turner misses high, wide. Okay, inside on a righty, almost a headshot. All Minnesota Twins fan, about 50 of them are laughing at him. They're laughing. They say, this guy stinks. J.J. McCarthy goes, listen, I'm new to the city. I appreciate these Twins fans, But Dallas is my draft mate. Dallas is my teammate. Everybody's booing him. I'm a quarterback. Watch this. He throws low outside the other side. I think he did that on purpose so that people realize it's not easy to throw that opening pitch. Maybe the balls were a little greasy, a little bit slippery. And I think he was trying to make Dallas look better than how he looked for his opening pitch. This guy's a consummate teammate out there in Minnesota.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I mean, if you just look at his windup, that's a guy who has replicated that many times. That guy's thrown a baseball. He probably pitched in high school. He's thrown a baseball off a mound. And he's not trying to embarrass his buddy. He's not trying to embarrass his teammate. He saw the throw that he had. He was like, hey, could I burn one of these sons of bitches right down the middle? I mean, we saw his arm live in person. He's got a howitzer. That son of a bitch can throw a football. Yeah, so, I mean, could he have thrown one right down the middle, 90, 95 probably? But I don't want to embarrass my guy. Watch, hey, he's got the right side covered. I'll dust a lefty's feet with mine, and we'll all have a laugh, and we'll call it a night, and we'll take in a baseball game.
The guy's a teammate.
Yeah.
The guy's a good teammate. And, obviously everybody's mocking JJ because they don't see what happens with Dallas. They just see his pitch, and they go, eh.
I mean,
guy gets under bright lights of the Minnesota Twins in front of 55 people out there. He maybe gets a little bit too tight. Instead, what they didn't see, because the video was edited, it was like he was looking out for his teammate.
Yeah.
You want to yam on your team? No way.
Not a chance.
These guys are going to be teammates in Minnesota for the next 10 years. Obviously, they're going to be best friends. Right. We don't need to start this thing in the middle of summer, hot as hell, with me embarrassing the shit out of a guy who's not supposed to throw a baseball. AJ, that's that Michigan man.
Okay.
That's a Michigan man right there.
I mean, think about it. He knows, like, the consummate leader. He's just like Adam Sandler when he pissed himself to make the little kid feel better in, Billy Madison back in the day. The kid pees his pants. Hey, I want to make this kid feel better. I'm going to pee my pants as well. That's what we see here.
If peeing your pants is cool, consider me Miles Davis. Hell yes.
Bingo.
That is exactly what J.J. McCarthy did for his teammate. They got to keep the ball. They adapted everybody up. They got to take in a game. This is just more signs that J.J. McCarthy's the guy, in my eyes.
And I couldn't agree more, but when you guys were talking about the OCs and setting them up for success, I think they all, like Shane Waldron is the Bears OC now, and he completely rejuvenated Geno Smith's career. And then at 2, you got Cliff is Jaden Daniels' OC. 3 is Alex Van Pelt, who was great for the Cleveland Browns. And then Sean Payton for Bo Nix, great offensive mind. KOC for J.J. McCarthy, great offensive mind. Like, I think they're all going into really good OC situations.
And Shane Steichen for Anthony Richardson.
Yep. So let's just
rookie year.
Basically.
We should put all the names in the hat and pull out the ones and just randomly, because at least half are going to suck. We know that.
More than
Not this year.
So we should just do that.
Bo Nix,
No, everybody's going to be Hall of Famer.
Play the best early, you would assume, especially. I mean, obviously you expect it from Caleb, you expect it from Jaden, but Bo Nix, where he go 12, and obviously Sean Payton came on the show and talked about how much he loved him coming out. But moving on from Russ, having all that dead cap space, like Bo is going to have to play really good.
PFF says no. PFF says they have the worst roster in the NFL. So
who says that?
PFF.
Denver.
That's another Cincinnati
Denver.
problem.
They have a $85 million cap hit. That's probably why.
Yeah, well, it's tough to build a roster when you can't sign 10 players.
Yeah.
And then it's almost
15 players.
At least 10.
It's almost like I kind of see this almost like Bryce Young's rookie year, almost all over again. Obviously, it was a disaster last year with Frank. Now you got a new offensive coach. You got new weapons around. Hopefully, built up that offensive line. He was, the Steph Curry coming out. Obviously, got as a quarterback, especially a young quarterback, when you just getting your head beat in down after down, you can't even process and go through shit. So I'm looking forward to him and kind of Anthony Richardson. Shit, even kind of Will Levis. He played half the season, but all those guys are kind of, we still don't really know who they are on this level.
We're learning a lot about Will Levis this offseason.
Yes, we are.
Too much.
Oh,
he can spin it, though.
Yes, he can.
The guy can spin it. Can he, AJ?
Jack.
He is jacked, too.
Intense.
Yeah.
I don't like what happened in the AFC South. I don't like it. I don't like any of it.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a good start.
Houston was supposed to suck forever. Houston was supposed to suck forever.
I mean, they're going to be good for 20 years.
So good.
least.
They're just so good so quick. They had an FCA guy, general manager.
Yeah.
That's what they were doing just a couple years back. They were supposed to stink.
Bill O'Brien.
At least
I
the
shouldn't have been
Jags.
general manager either.
Jags, at least, though. I mean, you got them now, where it's a better
Doug
situation
Peterson,
for the Colts.
Nah, see, you're one of those people that doesn't think they should pay Trevor Lawrence.
No. I'm not saying
I
that at
am.
all. They lost Calvin Ridley.
You don't like it?
No. He's the same thing as Jones Jones have the same damn numbers that he got.
Daniel Jones, the New York Giants?
Yeah, same numbers.
He got paid $41 million, I think.
He's talking well.
I think McCorkle Jones also had similar numbers.
Mac Jones, who's the backup quarterback for the Jacksonville Jaguars behind Trevor Lawrence, got released from his team as Trevor Lawrence got $275 million in front of him.
Yeah, I'm not saying that. I mean, if you have a quarterback, as a person who has experienced a football team without a quarterback, it is a nightmare. You need to hold on to those guys. I'm just saying they have lost guys, and obviously they took a massive step back. So, like, how How do you go forward when the division has gotten much, much better, including the Colts, especially the Texans? Like, how do you expect to be better than what you were?
The Colts are just going to get better because Anthony Richardson's going to be your first quarterback to say, I don't need all the money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
How cool is that going to be?
I hope not.
Flacco's probably telling him now. That's probably why they brought him in.
Anthony Richardson deserves all the money that he's going to be able to get after he leads the Colts to a couple Super Bowls here.
There we go.
Okay, over the next couple of years, he's going to deserve all the money he can get.
Sure.
But if he does do like,
I'll take $12 million.
You know what? Get me later.
Yeah.
Get me later.
Mm-hmm.
Get me later. And we're able to continue to keep because we re-signed every player we had on our team,
Mm-hmm.
and we didn't make the playoffs last year.
Almost
close. You had a playoff game at home.
Gardner.
In the Strat House.
In the Strat House.
Strat House.
In the CJ Strat House.
It's the Loud House. CJ Stroud House is down in Houston. You need to watch your fucking mouth.
Hey, look, when Stroud is playing in Lucas Oil.
First game of the year.
Unfortunately.
First game of the season.
It's the Stroud House.
Nah, it won't be this year. Too much travel in the world. One of those sumo wrestlers gave us a little tip on how to handle CJ Stroud. Wait till you see what DeForest Buckner does.
They're going to be so good. They're going to be
Especially
so
with
good.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't even really talked about the Joe Mixon addition to their backfield.
Daniil Hunter on defense. Like, they got guys.
Stephon Diggs, a wide receiver. Nico's back.
Yeah. Dalton Schultz.
Just got paid.
Yep.
Stephon Diggs is now in a prove-it year.
It'd be a real shame if they weren't.
Weren't what?
Good.
They're one-hit wonders?
Yep.
What are you saying? Can't handle success?
This is where I live, okay?
I doubt that.
Go Colts.
What? CC Sabathia was, I think, scheduled to join us about 10, 15 minutes ago. So you've seen a lot of Phil here. He's got a celebrity softball game going on tonight down in Birmingham, Alabama. We will chat with him about that and also talk baseball whenever we're able to get a hold of CC Sabathia. I hope everything's okay. You know what I mean? This is the whole, what's his name? Mitch Hedberg joke where you're at a restaurant and they go, Jones, family of four. And then wait 5 minutes, and then they'll go, Jones, family of four. And Jones' family of four is not there, and then they move on to the next one. Smith, family of six, or whatever. And he goes, well, what the hell happened to Jones' family of four? Should we not have a little bit of a heightened alert on what the hell happened to the family of four? They were here just moments ago. Now they are no longer here. Should somebody send a search party? Is that what we need to do for CeCe? I hope everything is okay with CeCe Sabathia, or he just decided to say, to hell with those guys. We're not talking baseball today.
Well, where is he right now?
I have no idea. He's down in Birmingham, Alabama.
So if he's in Birmingham, I mean, there's a chance that this heat has kind of blocked out.
Rolling blackouts.
Yeah.
Because of the heat.
Uh-huh.
Hey, the weather's insane right now, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
It's hot.
What happened? Really hot?
Record highs in like a bunch of cities in the Midwest.
And I think there's flooding down in Texas. I think there's some flooding happening in Texas. Last week down in Miami, I think there was some.
Florida had some. Yeah, Florida was underwater.
Mass had a 911 outage yesterday, Massachusetts.
It's snowing in Montana.
Golly.
You see that, the football practice?
That was real?
Yeah, I think so. Well,
What the hell is going on? Somebody needs to figure it out. I'm
could
driving an electric vehicle.
Yeah.
I'm doing everything I can.
You're saving everybody.
I
You're
put a
right.
bag on one of these cows' asses, too, that I drove by to catch all the farts.
how much does that electrical vehicle battery weigh?
What's that?
How much does that electrical vehicle battery weigh?
In kids
Enough
or
to
weight?
save the planet.
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about?
But no,
in kids
let's talk
or
about
pounds?
Pat, it's your theory. You know, we're weighing down the earth and pushing us closer to the center. What's that battery?
Is it even hot down there?
I've always wondered if, there's a fire burning, allegedly. Good morning. This is from Glacier National Park.
Oh, wow.
Some areas of Montana saw a fresh 12 inches of snow overnight after a June winter storm. Here's the summer-looking view near Logan Pass there.
Logan Pass is tough.
You go on the Hidden Lake Trail, though, you better watch yourself. There's a chance you see one of those American lions.
Yeah.
And obviously the American lions are dogs.
Big
That's
time,
what they've always been. And 12 inches of snow can drop right in the middle of June. So, you never know what you're going to get out there, but it is beautiful views.
Yeah, almost a good thing. Glacier National Park for a while, they were worried about the snow over there. I have been there. No big deal, Montana. I'm somewhat of a cowboy myself, but that is probably good
Got
news.
the hat on, yeah.
Yep, thank you very much, ranch hat. I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, you're more ranching today than you've ever been. Ladd McConkey and the Chargers have reached a 4-year deal with the most guaranteed money in the history for a 34th overall pick. Is that because just the NFL is going up? Is that because he was able to negotiate more at signing? Because I thought all these contracts were kind of slotted. Congrats to Ladd McConkey. And that hasn't been talked about at all.
Nope.
And Justin Herbert now has Ladd McConkey, who ran a 4.3 and he's getting added to their offense.
So isn't the salary cap higher than it's ever been? So the 34th overall picks percentage is probably higher.
Certainly, and the way you phrase things is certainly something you could do. Like T. Higgins signed a 1-year deal. No, he signed his franchise tag.
Right.
Weird.
Okay. Phrasing it as
Yeah,
1
that
year.
was weird.
Yeah, it's
That was
as if you renegotiated like Saquon did, where he got a couple extra million outside of the franchise tag. That's not what happened in Cincinnati. T. Higgins just signed a franchise tag. This guy signed the biggest 34th overall pick deal ever, and he's with the Chargers. We got great football here 80 days away. We'll be back tomorrow. Goodbye. Nailed it. Just right on.
Perfect. The video, the everything.
It was good ESPN 2 today. Because Florida and Kentucky are playing college baseball still over
Yeah, I told you. What inning is it in?
Third.
Are they in Omaha yet? Or
Yeah.
where are they?
Yeah, they are. It was 9-2.
This one was an elimination game. Florida hit a grand slam in the first inning.
Shit.
Yeah,
You're 15-4, top of the 7th.
Kentucky's in a bad spot.
Yeah,
Kentucky's
they've been in a bad spot.
Kentucky's in a bad spot. I go to the bathroom. I come out of my office. It's 3-0 in the first inning, or 3-1 in the first inning. It's like, damn, a lot of action. They pull the pitcher. Kentucky pulls the pitcher. Sweet pitcher comes out of the back with a mustache and a mullet. It's like, this guy's got it. Nope. Grand slam. 3 pitches later, he gives up. Florida's a wagon. This is an elimination game, though?
Yeah, correct.
Which part of the tournament are we in right now?
So they've played several games. So both of these teams have one loss. So this is in the consolation bracket or whatever, but whoever wins from the consolation bracket will eventually, I think there's, 4 teams left right now. So I think winner of this will probably have to win one more, and then the winner of that game will face whoever's undefeated in the actual final, which is a best-of-3 series. So there's probably 4 or 5 games left.
Can't wait to watch every one of them.
Oh, yeah, pumped.
You know, and we know what's going on. This game was supposed to be played last night. It got rained out, I do believe. It played today. So that means their next game will be tomorrow?
Probably.
Can't be doing double headers in a World Series.
No, absolutely not.
I think the Vols
Absolutely
were the
not.
1 seed.
The Vols were the 1 seed.
Well, McGee was talking about that Vols team.
Yeah, he was big time. The
Is he?
reality is they need to win it all because they want Bojangles when they get home.
He's there, right?
He is there.
We need to catch up with Ryan McGee.
He covers it? Is he covering it or is he going as a fan?
Well, he was there covering it last year. Remember Barth Brooks?
Yeah.
It's been a year since then.
Oh, you're right. That was World Series?
I don't think he has an iPhone, which is the
He
only
did not
issue.
like that guy.
Can't just
He
fix
did
it.
not
He doesn't
like
have
that
an
man.
iPhone.
He has
I
2
think
phones.
it's a
I know he has
green.
2 phones.
I think it's a green text.
He does have 2 phones.
He's got
One
two
for
Samsungs.
baseball, one for NASCAR.
One for Marty.
That's right.
That's right. Marty. He's
Yep.
actually got 3
Three
phones.
phones,
That's
actually.
a beeper.
Yep.
Yeah.
Marty's got a
Marty's a
beeper.
beeper.
911 Marty.
Yeah, and then he's got a baseball phone and a NASCAR phone,
Yep.
which we certainly appreciate. There's a story developing down in Carolina with the Carolina Panthers, and I love how it's all gone.
Sure.
Guy was a minority owner of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Carolina Panthers come up for sale because of previous ownerships, everything. David Tepper buys it. We get introduced to this character, David Tepper, and we start learning about his business acumen and some of the spiteful, petty things he had potentially done in business world. And then we see him start to build a building, a new facility, and then he shuts it down, files bankruptcy, sues the town because they didn't hold up their end of the bargain. This guy's a shrewd businessman. And we seen him, throw ice on people. He coughed accidentally, and, and he threw it on other teams' fans. He's a billionaire owner of the NFL team. And then obviously we've seen him go into a store that had a sign basically directed to him, telling him he hits a hat off a guy. I mean, just this dude is one of
He's
one.
passionate. He's passionate.
Yeah, he's one of one. He's done a lot of things. Well, now he is seeking, I think, $650 million of taxpayer money to build either a new stadium, new facility. Cam Newton, one of the most famous Carolina Panthers, and obviously a man who is very well connected in Carolina, chit-chatted about David Tepper and the Carolina Panthers' future plans and what's going to have to take place for it to maybe happen.
Ain't none of this shit gonna be worth a
Okay?
if you got the chairman, the president, or the CEO, or the person who's making the calls isn't at one with the city. I don't give a damn how much money you got.
Because they need the taxpayers' money.
I don't care how much money you got. I don't care how much money you're asking for. But if you're not at one, the number one in charge is not at one with the city.
He's number one, Cam.
It's not going to work.
If you remember.
Yes.
It's not. So
it's a cool sign.
Take it for what it's worth. That looks phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
You know. And obviously Charlotte has been yearning a destination or to be the marquee destination for bigger events.
Mm-hmm.
I think every city wants or has admiration to have the Super Bowl potentially come there.
Yep.
Now, the truth of the matter is, what about the regular, situation? Now, that looks like an ultimate fan experience.
That's right.
Cool. All for it. But, dude, you know who you are.
Yeah.
Gotta tap in.
Nice.
He's talking about David Tepper, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
He's saying, hey, you're going to have to turn babyface with this city if you're going to ask for $650 million. You just moved down here a couple years ago. You fired 6 coaches for our soccer team. You fired we got a number 1 overall pick for you, and you hired somebody. It's just complete failure. There was 35 people at the game, the last game of the year, in the rain. You got Luke Combs coming out saying, like, I'm good at music, doesn't mean I'm good at running an NFL team.
Yeah.
Maybe Tepper needs to think I'm good at business. Maybe I'm not good at running an NFL team. He's getting shrapnel from everywhere, and he's causing it. He is a massive reason for all the shit that he's in. But Cam Newton's pointing out something that I assume he's been, chatted about around the city and everything. It's like you're asking for money from a group of people that seemingly hate you. Let's go ahead and turn that around before we potentially ask for money. But when they ask for money, Charlotte is a wonderful place.
It is.
Oh, yeah. It is a beautiful city, perfect for hosting things, actually. The way it all is set up and the way the temperature is, the people that live there are fantastic. I mean, Charlotte is a great city to host things. If they were to get a $650 million upgrade to their stadium, I think that would qualify as city investing in the NFL.
Yeah.
So then the NFL is potentially more likely to take a Super Bowl there. Super Bowl comes there. That means billions of dollars are coming there. That means maybe you're back in the conversation of it all. But to do that, the owner of the team has to seemingly get back in good graces with the entire city. And that's not as easy as some would potentially think.
Not easy at all. And I spent 1 year in Carolina, Cam's rookie year, actually. And Cam obviously had that city, that franchise, that fan base on another level. And Jerry Richardson, for everything he wasn't and all the bad shit he had, he was tapped in with that city when it came to football. Everybody knew, he loved football and loved that organization. Obviously, they went a long way early on. So, yeah, I think Tepper, and I'm knowing how he is, probably not, but he should get Cam in the fold at some point because it's, once again,
Didn't he try? He overpaid him mightily to be a backup quarterback, right?
I mean, like games. In like a lot of, you see a lot of these Dan Morgan's there, obviously the GM now, but a lot of these organizations bringing kind of guys just being around the building, just because when you have a face like that, you know somebody who's tapped in with that city, and obviously you need good players, you need a good team that's trotting out there week in, week out. That's the number one thing, and a lot of people are looking at Tepper as the reason why they haven't been able to put that out there. So you never want that as an owner, but who knows what we've seen so far. It doesn't look like he'll be changing anytime soon, but I agree with Cam's sentiment and what he's saying. But that would be a great city, I think, for a Super Bowl. Big hub as far as traveling to, easy to travel, to get out. Great city, I think, to host conventions, big events. So I'll be looking forward to
a lot of restaurants, bars.
Oh, yeah.
Everything,
great food.
Everything walkable.
Good barbecue.
Downtown. I mean, it is. Charlotte is a great city. He brought up the Super Bowl point. I'm like, Charlotte hasn't. Has Charlotte?
I don't think so.
I assume they had one.
I assume
they already did.
I would hope that a city like Charlotte would have hosted one already, but I guess.
I would assume.
What can he do though? What can he do to get back on like the good graces of everybody? I don't
win, but also don't ask for taxpayer money, just pay it.
But don't.
Yeah, he would have to use his own money. You're right, use private funding. But yeah, that's what owners do though. They try to get as much money as they can from the city. Not all of them. You're right. I guess is Tepper willing to do that, to put up? I don't know.
Filed bankruptcy already.
Yeah,
I'm not paying any of the bills that are outstanding. I'm filing bankruptcy. That's on you. That's not on me. We had a deal. You're not holding it. I think he's a rather shrewd businessman, and obviously the bankruptcy weapon has been used by a lot of people in the business world. It's talked about very publicly, especially with everything going on in the election that is taking place. But I don't think he's ever going to be a guy that isn't going to take money that's potentially not his or that is available. You know, all those people say, well, you get rich building businesses with other people's money. It's like, yeah, but do you have the ownership over it? Yeah, well, I'm the one getting the money. Yeah, I do get it. It's like, don't you feel like you should be invested though? Like if you were to invest that money into that place, wouldn't you feel like it's yours more now? And I know everybody, mortgages and banks and yada, 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 you do it. But if you're a multi-billionaire and you have the capability to build your own palace pretty much, and why wouldn't you do it? You know?
Well, with the NFL, doesn't it feel like with the NFL, sorry to cut you off there, but doesn't it feel like it's almost like a no-brainer where you're not going to lose money? Whatever you put in, it's going to, like, it's not going to go away. If you ever want to sell it, you know people are going to be lining up to buy it.
Like here in Indianapolis, Irsay has a phenomenal deal with the city that paid for Lucas Oil Stadium to be built because allegedly there was a helicopter that he was in that was flying over L.A., when the Colts' new stadium conversation was taking place at a city level. And the city of Indianapolis obviously loves football and everything like that. But he's not in charge of the stadium. Colts are not in charge of the stadium. So if there's an AFC Championship game that needs like a home because storms and everything like that, that's not like a Colts decision or an NFL decision. That's the city's decision. And the city has a volleyball tournament in the Lucas Oil Stadium. So we can't have the AFC Championship. So it's like if you're one of these billionaires that wants to have say and power and yada, 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 it's like, why don't you build your own shit? And then you're able to do concerts. We're just talking about how great
your
Charlotte
own
is.
Patriots Place, right? You want to build your own Patriots Place where everyone comes. You own the hotels, you own all the shop, like you own all of that. That's what every owner is trying to get to because that's where you truly get like the value in those franchises. I feel like
a lot of these owners are trying to get to that with other people paying for it.
For sure,
no doubt.
Yeah,
no doubt.
Yeah, we definitely want Patriot Place. So who's paying for it? Well, you would be.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm not. I'm gonna keep my money. I don't.
And like Jerry, obviously paying for his, but
He got the big tax money too, though. I think we thought that his tax money was a lot smaller than it actually was. I think he put up a lot, obviously, because it is Jerry world and it's so big. But he got massive taxpayer money as well. Everybody seemingly has because what NFL brings to the city. I'm not saying it's not worth it. There are people that hate the tax money's used at all for this, and they don't fully understand community, business, everything that kind of the NFL brings. But I think more ownership, jobs, activities, events, hope, inspiration. I mean, there's like so much.
There's got to be some kind of tax break for everybody who own the stadium.
Agreed.
Yeah,
it's got to be because all the.
Well, yeah, that's why you go build your stadium out in the middle of nowhere because they give you big, like 30-year tax breaks to come out there and build your place.
Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, an absolute legend, World Series champion, Cy Young winner, 6-time All-Star, and this evening. He'll be participating in a celebrity softball game at Rickwood Field in the Barnstorm of Birmingham. Ladies and gentlemen, CC Sabathia.
Yeah.
How are you, man? You forgot about us? Is that happening? You forgot about us?
Birmingham.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Did you forget about us, CC? Did you forget about us?
No, I'm on the golf course.
All right. Hey, had to get a couple in.
The golf course, and we were walking today. And had I been in the car, I would have did the interview from the golf course. But
how are you playing?
I was walking. Play terrible today. Driver was not good. But when I did catch fairways, I had a couple birdies, so it was all right.
Okay, a couple birdies is something to hang your hat on. Are you feeling a little bit worried about how you're going into the celebrity softball game tonight, CC, or what?
I'm worried for my knee. You know, I got a bad knee. So after walking 18 and then trying to get into the celebrity softball game, we'll see. I mean, my MVP chances might be slim tonight, but I'm gonna get out there and see what I can do.
Are you pitching? Obviously, you're pitching. How's this work?
No. I like to play first base, DH in these things. I consider myself a hitter more so than a pitcher. So I'll be lending my hitting skills to the celebrity softball game tonight.
Okay, the two teams that'll be playing are the Hammers and the Seheys. Obviously, Sehey, Willie Mays passed away, and we saw your tribute to him. What a obviously perfect day to honor him in this particular celebrity softball game. But what is the conversation around the baseball world whenever you all lose arguably the greatest player of all time?
Yeah, I mean it was just a surreal feeling last night just to be sitting, you know, I was sitting in Willie Mays Pavilion at Rickwood Field when I got the text, you know, so this is the reason why we came down here was to celebrate Willie. But, you know, like you said, now we'll just turn this into a celebration of his life. You know, the timing is just insane, you know, of him passing away last night and us being here, you know, the Cardinals and the Giants playing the game on Tuesday and really us, you know, wanting to do the celebrity softball game on Juneteenth. You know, this is kind of the birthplace of black baseball. You know, everybody that was important to our game, you know, played at Rickwood Field, and to be able to come down here and do the celebration in honor of Willie means a lot to us, and just means even more now that you know, with the news of yesterday.
Okay, so you say the birthplace of black baseball. Is there a reason why Birmingham was the home to it as opposed to anywhere else? And
I just think because of Rickwood Field, you know, and all of the guys that played here, you know, there's a story that, you know, Hank Aaron got a chance to see Jackie Robinson play here as a kid, and that's the reason why he wanted to be a baseball player. And Willie Mays grew up around here and playing on that field at Rickwood Field, so he got his start there. So all of these different guys, Satchel Paige, all these different guys playing on this field is the reason why I'm able to do the things that I've did in the game. And it's a direct connection. So to be able to come down here and celebrate that part of baseball history and really American history means a lot.
Hell yeah. And obviously over the last few years, we've learned about Juneteenth, and it's become a national holiday. And it's like, yeah, a lot of celebrating. I love that you guys are doing this. And the names are in a bunch. We're talking Barry Bonds, I believe, is one of the captains of one of the teams. He doesn't do shit. We never see him doing.
Willie Mays is his godfather.
Okay, so that is obviously will be an emotional, I assume, emotionally. Yeah. Derek Jeter is out of this thing. Obviously, CeCe's there. You're talking David Ortiz, Dusty Baker, Alex Rodriguez, Dontrell Willis, Jimmy Rollins, Adam Jones. I mean, you're talking. Yeah, there is.
Everybody just hitting bombs all night long. Like, is everybody just hitting everything out of the park? Like, how are you going to contain that?
What's the plan?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's just hit as many homers as possible. Entertain the people. You know what I'm saying? We just did a big celebration of Negro League baseball in Cooperstown. We did an East-West game, and we had a lot of the guys come out and play. And, Ken Griffey Jr. was there, and Ferguson Jenkins, and all these different guys. So this will be kind of an extension to that. This softball game, we'll go out, have fun, and just kind of put on for the community. I want it to be like a block party, and come down here and just create more baseball fans. I think we always have the conversation of how we get more black players back in baseball, but I think we need to get more fans. I think, having more fans breeds more players. So, just thinking about my own childhood, my mom was the one that brought me to a lot of different games. Derek Jeter was a Yankee fan because his grandmother loved the Yankees. So we need to, get more families and fans back to the game and in the black community. I think this is the best way to do it.
Hell yeah.
Way to do it.
We'll be able to watch this game tomorrow on MLB Network prior to the game at Rickwood that is taking place tomorrow evening. Can't wait to see the show. D-Bot has a question for you, CeCe.
Yeah, I know. Obviously, this is elevated now with Willie Mays passing. But do you think this will become an annual event?
Yeah, I think, I definitely think that we'll do something annually down here at Rickwood. I don't know if there'll be a game, maybe an academy to come. Maybe we'll do what we did in Cooperstown, that East-West, Negro League game. Maybe we'll bring that down here next year to Rickwood. There's endless possibilities, but this definitely won't be the last time that we'll be down here in this community and down here on this field for sure.
Well, congratulations on doing something awesome, making the world a better place. Can't wait to watch it. And we need to see your ass running. You're walking the entire golf course. Okay, yeah, let's make sure we're running the bases up. Okay, let's move to some MLB conversation if you don't mind, CeCe. Obviously, the story of the year is out of Pittsburgh. Go ahead, Tone.
Yeah, CeCe, Paul Skenes. Okay, he's 7 starts in. He's undefeated. He has a 2 ERA. He's striking out 7, 8, 9 guys a night. Is this going to carry on because his stuff is so electric and how fast he throws, or is there a chance that MLB hitters will start catching up, or is this is he just one of a kind guy? This is what's going to happen.
No, I think this is real. I think this, what we're seeing from him is a real, thing, and I think. Just watching it start the other day, his little splinker thing that he throws is a real, it acts like a two-seamer. So even when the guys get on his fastball, he throws 100. These guys love velocity now. He's able to still pitch. He's got pitchability, which is something that, a lot of these guys that throw real hard don't have. With his makeup and the way that he can, command the strike zone and the stuff that he has, I think we're looking at, a bona fide ace for a very long time. And, I was just talking to the guys. There's a bunch of baseball players here.
What's up, boys?
We were just talking. I would love to see him at the All-Star game. Yeah. This kid has been electric, and it'd be awesome to see him against some of the best hitters in the American League. So if he can keep it up for a couple more starts, I would love to see him in Arlington.
How's that work? Does he have to qualify to make the All-Star as a rookie, a certain amount of games? Because I know you guys have a rule like every team is represented, right? Even like the crop teams who have crop players, they have somebody that shows up at this thing. How would that have to work, CeCe?
I honestly do not know, and I should know. I'm working in the commissioner's office. I should know that. But no, I do not know. But I'm sure after this conversation, somebody will get us an answer.
Do you think the MLB is happy that Paul Skenes is doing what he's doing and the eyes are on Paul Skenes?
Yeah, I think everybody in baseball is excited. I mean, I think if you just look at, this time last year, this guy was pitching in the College World Series, and less than a year later, now he's, dominating, Major League Baseball games. So the College World Series games are on ESPN right now. You can see, there's a kid, Jack Caglione, there's a kid, Christian Moore. These kids can be in the big leagues in the next couple of years, next year. So it's awesome to see, the direct connection from college and just watching these kids' development and being able to see them come out and dominate in the big league.
Who are the baseball guys you're with? You don't have to out everybody, obviously, but anybody we would know?
Adam Jones is walking up right here. Jimmy Rollins is walking up right here. Ryan Howard is gingerly walking up the stairs.
Old ass.
Like this course has kicked his butt. So
you all decided to walk? Everybody? Yeah, we're walking?
He said right now he's definitely going deep in the softball game.
Everybody, who was that? Who's that? Howard?
Ryan Howard, yeah.
Can't walk. That means I don't want to have to do the bases. So I'll hit that out.
Have to do, after walking 18, nobody wants to do the bases.
Yeah, we'll just touch home. Yeah, we'll hit dinger, and then we're touching home. See ya. All right, thank you so much. What a beautiful night. Tell the boys we said hello, and obviously the MLB chatter has been fantastic this year, and it's potentially because the Yankees aren't the worst team in baseball like they have been. Go ahead, Todd.
No, yeah, Pat, they're actually the best team in baseball. CC knows. CC, tonight, Garrett Cole's making his first start of the year. Obviously, Yankees fans are rejoicing because they have been the best team without him, which was crazy to think, when you found out about his elbow injury. What's that like coming back mid-season when you are the bona fide ace? Like, will they treat him a little bit differently? Is he going to be like full go, or is he kind of probably only going to pitch like 4 to 5 innings? And then also, given what happened last night with the Orioles hitting both Judge and Gleyber Torres and throwing inside on him all night, what are the chances that Garrett Cole's going to earhole someone on his first pitch of the game tonight?
I don't know. I mean, I honestly don't. That depends on. That's everybody's temperature's different. I always ran hot. So if anybody threw a ball close to any of my players, then we kind of knew what was going to happen. So we'll just, I guess we have to wait and see and see if, if they thought the intent was there. I think Garrett's going to come out, ready to go. I think, looking at his last start in the minor leagues, he looked really sharp. I think he had 10 strikeouts and like 4 in the third. So I expect him to come out and be ready to go. I don't think that he would make this start against Baltimore and be shorthanded, and not be able to go out and give this team everything that, they expect him to go out and do, being the ace of the squad. So, I expect him to come out, pitch well. I think, he understood the assignment and knew that, this is a chance for me to come out and pitch against the team that's chasing us and, set the tone. So, yeah, I'm excited for him to come back. I think he's excited picking this day to come back. So I expect him to come out and pitch well.
Amen. And we think that tonight is about to be an absolute blast for all of you down in Birmingham. We can't wait to catch up with the social media clips. I assume somebody will be posting, yes, live?
Oh, yeah. There'll be definitely live social media clips, and MLB will be posting. And like you said, you'll be able to watch the game tomorrow before the actual Cardinals and Giants game.
How do we support this? I think there's tickets for sale, obviously. I don't know if I'm in Birmingham, if I'm going to be able to make it without that ticket, the ticket sales. I think there's also a post-game performance by global music superstar Metro Boomin.
Wow. What?
Yeah.
Drummer?
Yeah. Whoa.
I don't even know what it means. I just hear people say it.
Yeah, well, it was said one time pretty loud in the middle of a battle. How do we support this? And what is what's the money like? What all the weekend look like down there?
The money from tonight's game is going to the local boys and girls clubs here, and then the Players Alliance. Which is, again, just getting, kids in the local community back into the baseball. Like I said, I want to get families back involved in the game. And, the idea of having Metro perform was I wanted this to be like a root style, block party, picnic, I feel like the game can get a little corporate tomorrow and, you have to, sponsors and all that different stuff. But tonight is for the community of Birmingham, for the city, for the people. Alabama's full football team to be here. Jalen Monroe is playing.
Sweet.
So, it's for the people here and for the community. So we're excited about tonight.
Jalen Milroe is going to take a softball from center field and gun somebody out at home plate. Like that Japanese guy.
Yeah, Chusei Manami.
Go ahead.
I don't know if you can throw it from center field at Rickwood. The original fence in Rickwood at center field is like 480. So I would love to see him throw one from center field to home plate.
We're talking about Jalen Milroe.
Yeah, 480.
What do you 480? What is
barely 100 yards?
That's not even in yards. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Feet are so small.
Yeah, that's right.
Especially that 12 inches. What are we even talking
And that ball's huge. It can travel so far.
480?
Was it still?
That's a long way.
Were dudes hitting him out?
Long way.
Guys hitting him out the center?
No.
I guess Josh Gibson, guys like Josh Gibson must have been hitting them out.
Pittsburgh baseball legend.
Yeah, jersey right there.
We got a jersey in the office actually, right over there.
Right there.
And once again, to be clear, this is to celebrate, obviously, everything that happened at Rickwood Field in Birmingham, the history, the future, and hopefully this will become something that we can support year in and year out. Good luck down there. MLB.com/Rickwood for tickets. And if you find a way for us to be able to support from afar, we would obviously love to do so. Keep killing it, CC. We appreciate you.
I appreciate it. Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me on again.
Tell everybody we said hello. Ladies and gentlemen, CC Sabathia. There's a lot of people going to this.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Those names are.
A lot of guys playing in that. Oh, my goodness.
David Ortiz, Alex Rodriguez, Jimmy Rollins, Dontrell Willis.
D-Train.
Love
him.
Oh, yeah. He's awesome.
All the way around.
Turn back. The left, right. Adam Jones, LaTroy Hawkins, Dexter Fowler, Michael Bourne, Micah Johnson, Ricky Smiley, morning show host legend, T. Grizzly, Bubba Dub, Alicia Baumgardner, Ari Chambers, CC Sabathia, Colin Sexton, DC Youngfly, Des Bryant, Dreezy, Dwight Freeney. Hey, hell yeah. Freeney will hit a bomb.
Oh, yeah.
He's got
Freeney
a
will
swing.
pitch too, probably, if I had to guess.
Bet he golfed very well today, if I had to guess. He was out there.
He's got an interesting swing, too, but he can play.
Yeah, but he's playing speed golf. He does the
Jordan method.
He's golfing with Jordan, where there's 6 golf
Each
carts
guy has
wide.
their own cart. Yeah.
Yeah,
really?
we'll see you at the
that.
green. We will see you at the green. It is everybody tee off. Okay, we'll see you at the green. They're doing rounds in like 45 minutes to an hour.
Genius.
Which
the Wahlberg rounds.
Well, we
he
don't know how that's.
Yeah.
That might be in his backyard.
That's what I think it is.
I'm gonna
He
hit
sold
I
that.
just
I
thought
think
it
he
was
sold that
bullshit.
place.
Mark said it was bullshit.
53 million or something like that. That whole place.
He
Was
said
it?
it was.
He can't swing the bats.
I see him pop up with all his municipal gear. I know Conman wears a lot of it.
Easy.
That's
You do, dude.
No.
Oh, you're not even
What do you
wearing
mean?
shoes.
No, I don't wear a lot of it. Okay,
What's
there are
wrong with
one pair
Wahlberg?
of shoes that I wear sometimes.
You wore them yesterday during your celebration.
Well, I had to. It was a Boston day. I mean, how am I not going to wear Marky Mark stuff? We all saw Donnie front row as he's been the whole playoffs.
Donnie Burger.
Donnie Wahlberger.
Earth Gang, ESTG, Jalen Milroe, Jameis Winston, Joe Johnson, J.R. Smith,
Jeez.
Naj.
Matt Barnes, Max Holloway, Najee Harris.
Max Holloway.
Max Holloway, the fighter?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
He's from Hawaii.
The pride of Hawaii. Yeah.
Loves
I'll
Willie
watch.
Mays.
What's that, a 10-hour?
What are they playing? 30 on 30?
Yeah.
I don't know how this is all going to work, but there's more. I mean, there is Roy Wood Jr., Terrell Owens,
Let him use
Steven
metal
Jackson.
bats.
Oh, this is sick.
Damn.
They are. It's a softball game.
Yeah, what are you
Are
talking
they? I guess
about?
they are. What, the pros? So you're telling me those pros, like, you're going to put a metal bat in David Ortiz's hand?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
I'm watching,
Yes, you
I'm
are.
watching
They're not
all
using
day.
wood.
Can't wait for that.
I don't know.
This was pieced together by CC Sabathia and Uninterrupted, and it's called Fam Jam during Barnstorm Birmingham at Rickwood Field.
Do we know is Braun Strowman going to be there? Because I saw that man hit a ball 700 yards.
Well, his dad.
I think it's his dad is actually.
Well, that too. But I saw him hit one. That
But yeah, I think like his dad is like Hall of Famer.
Correct.
I don't know if Braun Strowman has committed his life enough to softball to also be able to follow into those footsteps. But I have seen on Instagram him demolishing softballs.
Yeah.
Like he has a real.
Oh yeah.
Like the way they hit it.
Yeah.
It's
those
like,
guys can like control where they want to hit it. Like
spins on it. I'm gonna hit a fade home run.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna hit a draw home run. And then some of these softballs, they only let you. Yeah, I mean, here's Braun Strowman's dad, Rick Scher. Rick Scher hit a total of 4,238 home runs and batted .722 in his softball career.
What's up, Babe Ruth?
This guy's greatest of all time. Like they're talking about this guy being beer league softball, men's league softball, GOAT
Yeah.
That's Braun Strowman's dad.
And he's playing the hot corner where guys are hitting softballs like 8,000 miles an hour and just eating one hops. And
I was about to say, he actually caught one with his teeth.
Yeah.
And then threw a guy out. I mean, that's one big son of a bitch's dad. Yeah, so you're right. Maybe Braun Strowman gets down there. First time I saw him after he came back in the back, we were walking around. It was like his first night back or whatever. And obviously you see the fucking silhouette of this guy from the other side of the arena as he's walking. That's one big son of a bitch.
Yeah.
I mean, that is the biggest thing. And I see him, I go, bro, I'm good to see you. Still hit dingers in softball? Oh, yeah. All right. I guess that's something you never lose. I guess that is something you never lose.
He should just go to run. Like, even if he doesn't want to, hit if he's not too sharp, he can sprint for those guys.
Well, yeah, hit the train.
That's what I mean. He can work on the train. Yeah, exactly.
Here's Rick the Crusher Sure. This is Braun Strowman's dad. He is at bat, and 16 knows that you're going to have to put the ball into the breadbasket, pal. Gone. See ya. Teed off. Over a tree.
And a lake. Hit over a lake, too.
See ya.
Out of here. Get it, kid.
Yeah. Hit it in the next Connie. Yeah. That's Rick Sure. That's what. I mean, there's a chance Big Poppy tonight with a metal bat.
For sure.
Yeah.
Does the same thing.
Ryan Howard is going to hit one out of the stadium probably.
Yeah.
480, dead center.
A-Rod. You think A-Rod still get into one?
Yeah.
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 He'll think about that Timberwolves owner that kind of screwed him on that deal. Can you put a picture on that fucking?
I'm sure Jeets will leg out an infield single, too.
Shut up,
He's
dude.
captain. He's
Fuck
coaching.
you.
What?
That was a dig.
Wow.
You guys don't know. That was a fucking dig.
Yeah. How? What do you mean?
Asshole.
You made contact. You made
leg out an infield single. Guy had over 3,000 hits, and this fucking prick's acting like he was just getting C&I singles his whole career.
Rick Sure, glove, scoop,
dart.
I mean, just fucking.
I want to get out there now and play.
Beer league softball. I mean, House of Big Dogs used to be this this bar in Plum. You end up there, you know
what crew's there, yeah.
But they had a beer league softball team that a couple friends' fathers all played on. They took this shit serious.
That used to be big.
Big
Is it
dog
still
first
around? When I grew up, going to my dad.
It still is.
My dad played on travel teams. Like we would go to the games, and they all sitting there drinking beers after. Like it was a fun thing to go to.
Cash games. They were playing cash games, cash tournaments in there, and then they're heading right back to House of Big Dogs.
They still do it. Softball is big in Ohio too.
They're talking about how people get pitched like knuckleballs in that.
Oh yeah, pitch that thing high. One of the best summers of my life was beer league softball.
But you can't pitch too high, right? There's rules against how high.
Yeah, it depends what type of league you're playing in.
Which is always good because you can't have an actual thing to tell you how high it is, so it's always judgment calls.
Oh, yeah.
And whenever you got beer leagues happening,
Oh yeah, a lot of fights
with judgment calls.
Yeah,
it's electric. It's a lot of drama, a lot of controversy. Big softball game tonight down at Rickwood Field.
Yeah.
You pump for those highlights.
There is leagues at Unlimited Arc, and it's fucking insane.
Unlimited Arc leagues?
Yeah, so you can just fucking throw it as high as you can, and then it's 2 feet behind home plate. If it lands in that area, it's a strike.
Yeah, that's the strike zone.
Put
right?
the plate
doesn't
behind
matter.
the plate. Yeah, if it hits the plate, it's a strike.
So some people could fucking put up 30 feet in the air and have it come right down that.
Good
spot.
cornhole player, you could probably.
Oh yeah,
bingo.
100%.
Wait a minute.
Play to your strength.
Backspin. You put backspin on it.
Oh yeah, a lot of GBs from that.
What are we doing?
Kenny G and Michael Bolton are
What are we doing?
studs.
I'm wasting
They
the
can
ball,
rate.
Yeah.
Yep. That was for.
That was just practice.
That was just for.
That was just warm up.
That was for if it's gonna get hotter.
Outside?
Yeah, and you miss, so it's not.
Good. Thank
Cool.
God.
Maybe Chad Gable's still alive.
Chad Gable might be dead, huh?
He is.
He got that looked like a bullet wound.
it was a gunshot wound.
I mean, have we heard from him?
Wikipedia says he isn't dead.
He is indeed dead.
In fact, dead.
Okay,
In
there
fact,
it is.
Yeah, someone actually
Missed
put
a
out an
word there.
obituary last night as well.
He was an Olympian.
Yeah,
Good run.
Happens when you play against Otis.
Could you imagine if I see Chad Gable again on Monday?
I hope so.
I mean,
I am going to be mind blown.
yeah.
Cole,
talk about clones.
the hell? What if he comes back as a good person, saw the light?
Could be.
Oh, saw Jesus. Yeah.
I am so sorry. I saw St. Peter. Or whatever.
Saw my whole life laid out
Flash in
before
front of
me.
me. And
That'd be a good gimmick.
I was a good man all the way up until that would be.
That'd be
What
a
it-
great gimmick.
That fucker died, went to heaven, came back.
Yeah.
Whole new man.
If they just do that to everybody.
That's what the Wyatt Six do.
Yeah.
Six spelled SICKS.
Sickos.
Oh yeah, because they're sick.
Brilliant. It's pretty brilliant, all this stuff. They're starting to lay out all the stuff that has already happened. It's like, This has been very well thought out.
Mhm.
It's like, I would say.
The writing was on the wall with the CG.
Saw that, and with the thank you thing.
Yeah, stop saying thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. That's what Chad Gable's Dead Man
Yep.
Yeah.
once said. Not Dead Man, Undertaker.
Right.
Undertaker, I think, pretty good probably with the wide 6 if I had to guess.
I would assume.
Do we have a speed match today?
Who's the new champion?
You know who it is.
Andrade.
Yeah.
Andrade's the champion.
I thought they said they were crowning a new champion
Today?
No, Andrade
Is it just number one contender?
number one. He's got a match against somebody who's
on Monday.
It's coming up on Friday.
Oh, Friday.
Yeah, it's on Friday.
How'd Andrade get it?
Because he won
He won. He beat the former speed champion.
Who's that?
Well, guy died in a windshield.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of death lately.
I thought Dijak was going to bring it home, too.
It was June 7th. Andrade beat Ricochet, our former speed champion.
Yeah, that was today. Number one contender match, Dijak and Austin Creed, obviously.
To take on
Who won?
Andrade.
Who won?
Speed champion.
Dijak?
It's not loading right now, so.
I'd assume Dijak.
Oh, no. Dijak has lost in his attempt to get the cheat of the speed championship.
Austin Creed.
Yeah.
Damn. Xavier Woods.
Yeah.
That sucks, man.
What?
Dijak needs more reps, brother.
Yeah, he does. That's why he's losing to Xavier Woods.
That's what I mean. How's he going to get him?
Well, he dropped in there with a Hall of Famer in Xavier Woods. What do you
I
expect?
agree, but I mean, can we give the guy the goddamn strap, please? Dijak's got the juice, brother.
We can't just be handing anybody a strap.
Dijak's got the juice. That big son of a bitch came out the other night.
He's not a big son of a bitch. There's one big son of a bitch.
Excuse me. But he's a
Dijak
pretty
went
big-
for a choke slam.
He's a
Xavier Woods, sit down choke slam from Dijak.
Boom.
Jeez Louise.
Seen that before.
He's a big fucker.
South of heaven.
Kind of a cocky pin.
Ouch. Yeah, he's a cocky son of a bitch.
Is this live?
Nah, this was a couple weeks ago.
They got 2 minutes and 38 seconds to finish this match. Who's going to be the number one contender for Andrade Speed Championship? Xavier Woods, up on the turnbuckle, member of the New Day, Hall of Famer for sure. Dijak, guy's been around WWE forever. Is this his big moment, his big opportunity? Go for a superplex. Xavier Woods smacks his ass down to the mat, to the sky, comfortable. Double missile drop kick, Dijak out of the ring. Oh, no.
Those are good packs.
Xavier Woods set him up. Let me go ahead and kick him out of his ring so I can do a baseball side dive.
Ah, look out, Dijak.
Dijak's
That guy's
been
strapped.
eating. Yeah, you're right. Eat champ here in the front row. Right next to Jack Black.
Boom. See, cerebral news coming.
Duck. That was obvious. See, he's telegraphing it all. Xavier Woods has been there, done that with all this.
Good catch. Been there with this?
Backflip,
Oh,
yes,
shit.
absolutely.
I think so.
Super kick.
Fuck, man.
Dijak eating
No.
boots. Oh.
Oh.
Caved his chest.
Uno. Dos.
See? Two. Tough
I
son
did
of
not
a
expect
bitch.
a kick out there.
1 minute has passed since the last time I mentioned a minute. Think about how much shit happens in 1 minute in a wrestling ring and how tired you can potentially get. Big chop from Xavier Woods.
Macho Man just walked.
And another. And another. Beat him down. Big tree fall hard. Reverse. Whip. Up and over.
Good power of that Irish whip.
Ooh, I thought that was going to be a clothesline. Instead, it was a big boot.
Basically a Claymore kick.
No, don't. It was 360 boot there.
Oh, excuse
It
me.
wasn't a Claymore. It's not Claymore, you know.
Excuse me.
obviously.
Basically, I said I knew it was
who-
different.
You know who the claimer
I'm going to miss you, Drew.
I miss Ricochet, man.
He's dead.
We don't know if he can even move right now. What do you mean?
I miss
You're going to continue to.
He's gone, but not forgotten.
No, he's not gone. We don't know what he's
I thought he
talking about.
passed away.
No.
How do you get tickets to Speed?
I think it's
Got to be a supermarket.
I think it's hard. Yeah, no. I think I don't know if it's pre-recorded. I don't know.
I think it's live.
This
Sell out
one
a
was,
stadium for
They're in
it.
the red time.
30 seconds left now.
No,
Who wants it?
What do you?
Why is he going
Why would
to the
he do
top?
that?
That was a
I-
bad decision.
It
That
was.
That was a crude. Oh no, he's going coast to coast
This is
here.
it. This is.
With another, he's going to walk the ropes too, isn't he?
No.
Yeah, he's going to jump on the side, man.
Yup. Boom. Bang. Pow.
All she wrote.
1, 2, 3. There's your number one contender, Xavier Woods.
Yep.
Andrade, look out. You got a fucking bad man coming to town.
Uh-oh.
It's time. Speed time. Xavier Woods. Love that. Congratulations, Xavier.
Congratulations.
Well deserved.
Yeah, everybody's jacked over there. It's pretty crazy. You walk around there.
Everybody's super jacked, aren't they?
Anybody eating around here? What the fuck, you guys?
Yeah.
You guys ever try pizza? Jesus Christ, it's so good. Michael Cole's even getting like super fit. It's pretty awesome.
He looks good. I told you that last time I saw him in person. Like, I don't know what you're doing, Cole, but you look good.
Announcement: Michael Cole will be guest hosting this show on Monday.
Here we go, Cole.
Let it go, Michael Cole.
Baby Cole.
With his flip-flops on, you think?
No, I talked about that on Raw, about his crusty-ass toes making an appearance on the show, and he said, well, since he's going to go right to the arena, he's not going to be able to dress like an asshole. He's going to have to wear a suit or whatever. And I'm like, you don't have to wear a suit. We got a full locker room. He goes, well, I don't want to bring it back. I'm like, all right, cool. You do whatever you got to do. So I think he's going to be in full suit up here.
Here we go.
Which is much better than how big of an asshole he looked the last time he was up here. Bad.
Yeah,
He's wear a suit for like 10 hours.
He does that every day, every show.
That's true, yeah.
Every show you show up. We get there WrestleMania at like noon. I got my shit in a bag or whatever. He's in full suit. I already see his full bit. He's got a three-piece on because it's WrestleMania. I'm like, are you wearing that the rest of the day? Yeah, I don't want to change. You think I want to carry my shit around? All right.
Okay.
Hey, valid. That's a very valid point. Before we get out of here, I think we need to do a giveaway. Pac-Man, what are you going to win? What game are you going to win to give away $500 to 25 people on this glorious Juneteenth 2024?
Throw the football.
Okay.
Go, Pac.
Quick decision.
Let's go, Pac.
There was no second guessing.
Looking around.
There was real confidence there. He said, I want to throw a football. I got the FC Cincinnati kit on.
Love it.
That's football.
Let's
I'll
go,
do a
Pac.
little football. What do you got to get it into? You're going to hit the net?
No, let's do the rock.
Oh, the rock spin. Okay.
Yeah.
If Pac-Man Jones is able to bury this for the brand football into the rock spin, very aggressive move. I like how confident we are.
Yeah.
Usually bouncing an oblong ball bouncing one is an incredibly confident move. Good athlete. You said you want to do it. Let's do it. 25 people, $500. All you got to do is put it into the rock spin. That's all. This first one, last one, first one. This one's going to be the
That's
one.
what you need.
First and last.
Bang.
There it is.
Oh my!
I like
You got
it.
you got another option.
Slow, right?
Yeah, you're good. Ladies and gentlemen, if Pac-Man Jones is able to bury this for the brand football into the rocks,
Oh, man.
That looked good.
that felt good too.
Yeah.
Perfect
Holding
trajectory.
that thing up there a little,
little more juice.
let the wind go in. If Adam Pac-Man Jones is able to bury this football into the rocks, all around it. All around
There
it.
you go, Pac.
FC Cincinnati shirt, PXG hat. All he's got to do is bury this football into the rocks bin, and 25 people will win five.
You were throwing a good ball today, Pac.
Yeah, it's a really good ball.
Good
It's
Duke.
turning over nicely, too. Ladies and gentlemen, if Adam Pac-Man Jones is able to bury this NFL football into...
Man. Oh, and you got the other two.
There's footballs. Ladies and gentlemen, if Adam Pac-Man Jones is able to bury this playground football... Ladies and gentlemen, if Adam Pac-Man Jones is able to throw this collegiate national champion replica football that was certainly stolen off of a set at the national championship into the rocks bin right over there, 25 people will win 500. Hey!
Oh,
Every side of it has been hit.
It's the one. It's the one, Pat. Dub V.
That one's hard to throw.
This is a game winner. Hey, that's a spring game.
Dub V.
Yeah.
Come on.
Come on,
West
Pac.
Virginia legend, Adam Pac-Man Jones, will throw this West Virginia ball into the rocks bin, and 25 people will win $500.
For John Denver.
Never a doubt. Never a doubt. Go.
Take me home to the place I belong, West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home, country road. That was beautiful. That was wonderful. 25 people, $500. All you got to do is repost this post, say something nice to somebody, and put the easiest way to pay you, and you will be entered into a randomized drawing of 25 people to win $500 because that West Virginia ball found its home. Just like West Virginia football is going to find its home in the Big 12 championship next year. Pac-Man Jones, West Virginia legend, won 25 people $500. What a glorious way to end this Juneteenth 2024. It's been an amazing Wednesday. We can't thank you enough for joining us. AJ, great work today, man. Really good.
Good job, guys.
Boys in the back, great work. Good
job, boys.
Good work, boys.
Talks table, way to go.
Good job.
You
Dave.
too, Pat. Good work.
One half of the hammer,
Dahn.
Cowboys, Tone Dix, good work.
Good work.
Bubblegum Pino, the other half of the hammer,
Dahn.
Cowboys, good work. Come
Good work.
congratulate yourself like Tone. 9-year NFL vet, Darius J. Butler. Great work this week.
Good job,
Great work, Pat. Great work.
Adam Pac-Man Jones, great to see you back in studio. Good work.
Good work, Pat.
Great throw.
And way to win.
Good job,
Give him
Pat.
some money. Thank you, Pat.
Great job, Pat.
Thank you, me.
Yep, there you go.
Yep, there it is.
Good job, Tone. He says to himself.
I was congratulating everybody while I stopped myself.
Yeah, you're right.
I agree. I
Gotta love
agree.
yourself before anybody else can love you.
Yeah,
Exactly.
It's true.
Sometimes it's really hard, though, especially if it was somebody like me for 37 years. It gets a little difficult at times, but we can't thank you enough for allowing us to do this every single day. We hope you will join us. Manana. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. We're in this thing together. Team on me. Team on three. 1, 2, 3. Team. Good morning.